Berkeley High School. Today, we would like to welcome Cardinal Ritter and their 7-0 record. And they will be, of course, playing your conference champions, McCluer South Berkeley Bulldogs. We would like for everyone to please stand and remove their caps and hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Drum roll, horns up. Drum roll, One. Let's go.
Cardinal Ritter comes in with a 7-0 record, and they're led by their head coach, Mr. Brandon Gregory. Again, you're McCluer South Berkeley Bulldogs, conference champions, come in with a 5-2 record, and they're led by their head coach, Mr. Howard Brown. Our officials for today: Greg Stute, Matt Truzinski, Ray Taylor, Jeff Evans, and Marlon G. Can our flag chain crew please meet the officials? be kicking off, and McCluer South Berkeley will be receiving.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check. Yes, sir. Yeah, I can hear you now. All righty.
You're coming in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's. Along with Don Johnson and sideline reporter Angela Sharp, I'm Todd Blackstock, and we're set to bring you an outstanding high school football game today. Hosting this game is McCluer South Berkeley. They're coming in 5-2. The head coach, Howard Brown. Howard does an outstanding job with this team. And for Cardinal Ritter, they come in 7-0 on the season, and they've got some pretty special talent over there. And I'm with Don Johnson as the kickoff comes to Berkeley. Berkeley brings it up past the 30-yard line. Shamel Morrow and Cardinal Ritter, excuse me.
The ball will be placed at the 33.
The ball will be placed at the 33, and we are set and underway.
Yeah, he took that in the deep set. He brought it back up to the 30-yard line. That's a good start for him. They're right there in midfield. So if you're looking from the quarterback position, it's right where they want to be. Both sides are even. He has his wide receivers going out, and we're ready to get this game underway with the first play from the Berkeley Bulldogs.
So Berkeley takes over. First down, 10 yards to go. And we are underway. Glad to have Angela back in the mix. And a very special week out here in Ferguson for McCluer South Berkeley, as they were in the national spotlight, Don, as Ellen DeGeneres donated $25,000 to the football team. So we thought that was pretty cool.
Well, we need support from all around, Todd, and that's just encourage these high school athletes that someone cares about them.
All right, first down, 10 yards to go. Handoff right up the middle, nothing doing. And as far as McCluer South players to watch, I tell you what, they've got a heck of a quarterback, Jalen Gardner, 679 yards passing, 5 TDs, another 345 yards rushing, and 7 TDs. Another rush up the middle. And for Cardinal Ritter, just signing this week with Ohio State University, one of the big names in the area, one of the top wide receivers. He'll be wearing number 3 for Cardinal Ritter, Jamison Williams, 35 receptions, 863 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And those are our players, fit for life players to watch. As far as our Elite Football Academy coaches of the game, a couple good ones. For Cardinal Ritter, Brandon Gregory, I believe it's his 4th year here. He's coached at Maplewood, and he coached across the river. Assistant coach Sterling Finney, a friend of ours, is an assistant with Cardinal Ritter as well. As far as McCluer South Berkeley, they've got a stalwart in Howard Brown, and they're excited. They've won their conference, and they're set to try to put a nick in Cardinal Ritter, who comes in 7-0. Joining me, former Missouri Tiger fullback Don Johnson, in for DJ Demetrius Johnson, and glad to have you with us here tonight, Don.
Well, it's always good to fill in for Mr. Johnson. He's quite an outstanding color man. We know that.
We trade one DJ for the other.
We have an exciting game right here. Again, this is the fill-out process right now with Berkeley, because they're doing the run right now to just test this interior defensive line for Cardinal Ritter. Had a penalty on that, so they've got something to make up right now here at their first.
That initial touchdown, the initial return was Delano Nettles. 3rd and 15.
That ball may be live. That ball may be live. Again, he threw it behind him.
We're going to have to take a look at this replay right here, because that was an exciting play, and that's not how Berkeley really wanted to start this game, Don.
Not at all. You don't want to spot your opponent like that, but what happened, the quarterback was throwing to the back, and he threw it behind him, which is equivalent to a lateral.
Let's take a look here, Don.
Yeah, see, he threw it behind him.
Oh, it tipped it up in the air.
Yes, he threw it behind him, though.
So it was a live ball.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he lost the lateral.
Very nice, very nice, very nice job by the officials right there. The referee today is Greg Stolp. Matt Trzynski is the umpire. Headlinesman Ray Taylor. The line judge is Jeff Evans. And Marlon G. is the back judge. And I talked to the officials before the game, and I tell you, they really want to do good in this game, the officials do. And this time they hand it off right up the middle, pushing down towards the end zone. Touchdown,
Oh, yes.
Cardinal Ritter.
Oh, yes, the offensive
Shanae
line was
Morrow.
That was an off-tackle play to the deep back. He got it, saw the hole, and went straight across the line for an easy score. If you're the Bulldogs, that's not what you want to do with the opponents at the start of the game. Well,
They're set for the PAT.
Going to see whether this PAT is going to be good, but you don't spot your opponents on your home ground 7 points.
All right, snap back, ball down. Kick is blocked in the middle right there as Luther Burden. It was a pretty low kick there, Don. So the score will be Cardinal Ritter 6, McCluer South Berkeley 0 with 10:40 to go here in the first quarter.
Now what we have is for the offense. Come off the field, let them start talking to each other, specialty teams, and get themselves going. This is going to be Berkeley's second possession, so therefore they've got to come with a kick return, give them good field position, and they've got to advance the ball.
And let's take a look at our A&G Auto Spa coaches' details of the game. In this game for Cardinal Ritter, Brandon Gregory, you know, they're a timing offense. They like to throw it. They pass a lot. And they've got one of the top quarterbacks in the entire area. Unbelievable quarterback. Mackie Hagens, number 9, 2,300 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions, and one of the top players in the area. And I understand he's getting offers from Mizzou, among other teams. It'd be good to Mizzou get some of this local talent. There's a whistle on this as McCluer South brings it back up, and we'll check it out.
Lead man on that. Went across the line before the ball was kicked.
So they're going to redo it. So Cardinal Ritter is going to go ahead and kick it.
Now, the thing about this, you know, when you're on the team, you're receiving the ball, you got to pick this defender coming down. And you got to take somebody out. You got to stay with him, either crisscross, have a man come across the field and take somebody out so that the man receiving the ball can see where the opening is. So everybody on the Bulldog side has got to spot a man that they want to put on the ground.
All right, so the Bulldogs pick it up with an up man, up to 25, pushing up to about the 37-yard line. Nice field position for the Bulldogs with 10:34 to go here in the first.
That's great field position. That was a short kick. The up man took it. Proceed 10 yards, so we'll see only 60 yards to go from here. So that's not bad for the Bulldogs to get the ball.
All right, so the Bulldogs up.
They're going with that spread formation.
First down, 10 yards to go. Jalen Gardner. Definitely a player to watch in this game. 5 TDs, passing, and 7 on the ground. So he can run it and he can throw it. Kind of spread it around a little bit. Cameron Cole, 451 yards rushing, 6 TDs. Nathan Smith, 302 yards and 3 TDs. There's a run up the middle right there. Not a whole lot as Cardinal Ritter flexes their muscles. Second down and long, Bulldogs.
Well, you just kind of wonder what's happening on offense for the Bulldogs. They got 3 men that are wideouts out there, but they're running the ball.
Gardner hands around the left side, and Cardinal Ritter right there to stop that. Jeremiah Hayes, one of the guys in on the tackle there, as I tell you, the Cardinal Ritter's defense looks strong.
You're right. Anthony Baker, number 52 for Ritter, made his presence felt.
And here's a completed
pass.
pass. Here.
He avoided the first man.
All right, close to a first down by Berkeley. Cameron Cole, as he likes to catch it out of the backfield and he likes to run it. So a nice gain. But that does bring up 4th down, just not quite enough for the Bulldogs, and they'll punt it away to Cardinal Ritter.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are kind of stymied on that. He caught the pass, but again, fell short and they're turning the ball over early in the game.
There's a timeout on the field by Cardinal Ritter. And let's go ahead and take a look at this replay. All right, DJ, walk us through this.
Here he is. The back's out there in the flat. He catches, avoid the first tackler. He's going downfield, and the man's coming after him. He let him get into his legs. In that situation, you want to use that form to try to keep him off your legs. So now with this kick, this is going to put Ritter kind of deep in their position. We'll see what type of return team Cardinal Ritter has.
So Berkeley on the kick, and it's blocked.
Caught by the up man.
Cardinal Ritter returns the ball inside Berkeley territory. Unbelievable.
40-yard line on that one.
Artel Miller, number 21, the 5'9", 165-pounder, had a nose for the ball there, Don.
Exactly. That was a letdown by the Bulldogs. Someone in the interior line let his man through, and the secondary back didn't pick him up. Here we have it. There's a penetration. He goes straight through the back man. The back that was supposed to take the man out, let him get by him. There was a block. So, again, things are working toward Ritter's game plan so far.
All right, so Cardinal Ritter with the ball in this high-powered offense. And a man in motion to the far side. Becky back to pass at the midfield. He throws, he spins it, and there's a little bit of contact, but nice coverage there by the Bulldogs as there's 2 defenders there.
Well, the thing about that, the D-back for the Bulldogs, he was right with him on the pass, and the quarterback threw it to the inside where the defensive man had the advantage.
All right, for Cardinal Ritter, Caleb Roberson.
That was Nathan Smith on that play for Berkeley.
So 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Becky Higgins, and this time it's a run inside the 30. And down for Cardinal Ritter, Shimei Morrow. Again, Morrow with over 700 yards rushing on the season, and they move the chains. 1st and 10, Lions. Clock's running inside 9 minutes of the first. Mecky Higgins back about the 34-yard line.
Ritter's coming with a wide open
looks to the right side. He's got nothing.
There.
He decides to keep it himself. And he runs up down to the 26.
That seemed to be a little misplay as far as Ritter's concerned on that play.
Yeah, Don, it looked like Higgins. He looked to the right, had nowhere to go. He just decided to keep it himself. So that'll bring up 2nd down, and we'll call it 6. The clock continues to roll, about 8:15 here in the first quarter. Higgins back to pass. He's got a big rush. He escapes it, rolls to the right side. A little pitch and catch out there in the flat, and some nice running room. And it looks like another 1st down for the Lions.
Yeah, what the Lions are doing, they spread out the defense. Had a man over there in the flat. He was wide open.
Looked like Luther Burden
down the sideline.
It was Luther Burden on that. He's got pushing 500 yards receiving himself. They really have got some stats on the Ritter side. Go through them here in a minute. They spread it around. And this time it's a run up the middle, pushing down towards the end zone.
He's in.
Touchdown, Cardinal Ritter. Shamel Morrow, his 2nd touchdown of the game in the first quarter with 7:51 to go.
Well, Cardinal Ritter is winning the battle of the line because the offensive line for Ritter opening up holes in the back is just picking it. Whoever looks, you can see them penetrating that. He gets the ball wide open. He cuts back. That saved him and puts his head down and goes across the line.
They're going to go ahead and go for 2 this time. Hagen's under center. He rolls to the right side. Oh, escapes that. What dance? Finally, he throws it up, and the PAT is no good. And with 7:51 to go here in the first, it's all Cardinal Ritter.
I saw a flag on the play, Todd. So Ritter may get a chance to do this again.
We will see, but you look at the way that they spread it around. And Mickey Hagens, this is 2,361 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, one of the top statistical quarterbacks in the area. But, I mean, he throws it around to Jamison Williams, 863, 35 catches. Cameron Coleman with 31 catches, almost 500 yards, 5 TDs. Kevion Long, 26 receptions, 266 yards, 3 TDs. Number 10, Luther Burden, 17 receptions, 449 yards down, 5 TDs. They like to throw, and they spread it around.
Well, there's a reason they're undefeated, Todd. You can bet on that. They came here to win this game, even though this isn't their home field.
They have an outstanding athletic director, too, Preston Thomas. So the Lions set to kick back to Berkeley.
Berkeley's got to make something happen, Todd. They need an uplift.
They do. They need something, some positive gain. All right, here's the run-up and the kick. Picked up about the 10. Past the 25-yard line, and we'll send it down to our sideline reporter. Welcome back, Angela Sharp.
Hey, thanks, Todd. That's right. I'm down here on the sidelines. You know, McCluer South Berkeley is 5-2, taking on undefeated Cardinal Ritter. And what you might have not known is, while the teams were warming up, they played good old rap music from McCluer South, and they played things like Flight of the Bumblebee for Cardinal Ritter, but it doesn't seem to be slowing them down as they are leading 12-0.
Hey. Thanks, Angela. And it's first down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 27-yard line. So Berkeley, a mishap in their first possession, and the second one, Cardinal Ritter just kind of pushed it down their throat. So we'll see what happens. That was a handoff up the middle, pushing forward there. A nice little run there by the Bulldogs. And for the Bulldogs right there, it was Cameron Cole.
Yeah, Cole is their guy. He's one of the leading scorers. He has 6 TDs so far this season.
Second out and 5, positive gain there for the Bulldogs. Quarterback Jalen Gardner. And he hands it off, doesn't fool anybody. Look at the Lions in there. Number 44, Rashid McKinney's in on the tackle there.
Well, the thing about Ritter, they have a penetrating defense. Those interior D linemen are penetrating and getting the back in the backfield. So I think the huddle for the Bulldogs, they've got to talk about which man they're going to get.
All right, they run around the right side. Quarterback keeper out of bounds, I think short of the first down. We'll see right there if Gardner got enough. I don't think he did.
Well, with Gardner, you wonder, is that the original play, or was that something he had to ad-lib in order to keep the ball in the hands of the Bulldogs?
4th and 2 in their own territory. It looks like they're thinking about going for it, maybe trying to draw the Lions offside. We'll see. But the quarterback keeps it himself, throws it complete, first down, Bulldogs. Up towards midfield right there, and a nice catch and throw right there. Don?
That was a little flare right there. The man stepped across the line of scrimmage. They picked up a first. That's what the Bulldogs need to be consistent.
And on the right side, more positive yards and perhaps another first down. Cameron Cole with the ball. First down, Bulldogs.
Well, this is what the Bulldogs need. The offensive line to hold their man up, drive him there, and let the back find the hole and advance the ball down the field. Again, the back gets the ball, but what happens? There's great penetration from that defensive line of Cardinal Ritter, and he's dropped for a loss.
Players tackled on the play for a loss of 2.
Got a man in motion. Gardner hands it up. Oh, big hole up the middle and bowling down inside the 30-yard line. Holy smoke right there. Tyreek Smith.
I tell you, Smith has a good credit to the offensive line. They opened up quite a hole, and he ran through it with full speed.
And I tell you what, both of these offenses, they don't play. They get up to the line of scrimmage. They want to get a lot of plays in. I was listening in on the referees' discussion with the coaches today, and they like to play. I mean, they don't play around. When they blow the whistle, these guys jump in the huddle. They call a play quickly, and they get up fast, and they run these plays. There's no lollygagging around on either side of the ball here.
I tell you, there's great penetration across that defensive line by Anthony Baker, number 52. He stopped that play.
Oh, Gardner, he's just hit by a wall. Unbelievable on that play.
Well, you got to give credit to Ritter's defensive line. They're penetrating past the man that's shifting the ball, and by the time the back gets it, he's met by 2 Cardinal Ritter defenders.
And this time it's oh man. It looked like it was going to be a nice catch and pass right there, but the defender right there just completely laid out the wide receiver in on the hit there. Jaden Williams, the safety.
Yeah, that was number 20. He was there all alone, but the thing about the pass, he should have fired, and he kind of laid it up, and by that time the defender was right there.
So Dorian Stone takes a big hit. Gardner, this one's batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete, and Cardinal Ritter almost picked that, but it was 4th down, so Cardinal Ritter will take over 1st and 10 with 4:28 to go here in the first quarter, up 12-0 over the Bulldogs.
Well, that time, you know, Gardner was coming back with the pass, but he doesn't seem to be that tall, and he didn't get it up over the defense because they've got some tall linemen, and they just deflected and knocked that pass down. But you got to give the Bulldogs credit. They did advance the ball that time.
So the Lions, 1st and 10, they're in the white shirts, black pants, going right to left.
They have kind of a pro set with 2 wide men at the top of the screen. And we got it back there with the quarterback from that I formation. So they got that pro set going right now with another wide man at the bottom of the screen.
Don, did you know that Cedric the Entertainer is from this high school? McCluer South Berkeley.
You have to give him a lot of credit for producing Cedric.
Man, I tell you. Here Mecke throws this one a little bit low. 2nd down for Cardinal Ritter. Ebony Magazine author Margina Christian is an alumni. How about that?
There's a flag on that one, Todd.
Well, walk us through it, DJ. Don.
Looks like that other ineligible man.
We got DJ Demetrius and Don.
I think Mother's just like those
You
initials,
called it
the Johnsons.
You call it the Brothers Johnson.
And we'll be good to you, Todd.
Be good to you. So the referee walks it off. I was listening and eavesdropping with the officials before the game, and I was quite impressed. I mean, there's a shortage of officials in the St. Louis area just because some of them are getting old. There's so many games the college ranks take them. But I tell you, Greg Stolp, the referee, he was talking about coaches. What do I need to look for? Any trick plays, gadgets? Is your quarterback right-handed, left-handed? They were all over it. You play a fast pace. They wanted to accommodate both teams. I thought that was pretty outstanding. All right, Higgins throws it to the far side.
For a loss. Unbelievable play there.
Man.
The pass is complete, but looks like for a loss.
Yeah, the pass complete over there to Quentin Yates.
It looked like number 24 was right there on him.
Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, yeah, look
Oh,
at
the
that.
D-man was right there on him. That's yummy for the defense.
This time it's a pitch and catch, and stride is caught at the 40. Up past midfield. Oh, boy. Cardinal Ritter right there. Luther Burden took that in stride and just sprinted past midfield. First down, Lions.
Ridner's trying to step it up right now. They're going to a quick offense. Once they get the ball, everybody's running back up to the line for the next play, trying to throw the Bulldogs off.
There was an ISO shot of Burden there, number 10. Great camera work by our crew. And this time they hand it up the middle. William Jackson on the carry. He gets up towards 100 yards on the season with that. Mixing it up.
Well, it seems like they're going with a wide formation, Todd. There's a hole in that offensive line, which the back is running through. And he's got full speed once he hit that old line.
Second out and 5 for the Lions. Higgins connects at the 40-yard line, breaking a tackle, pushing inside the 35-yard line. Once again, Luther Burden. First down as the chains move. 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the first. If you're just joining us, I'm Todd Blackstock. Don Johnson and Angela Sharp are with me today for the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's. Higgins back to pass. He finds nowhere to go, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage by the Bulldogs. Let's see who's in on that.
Number 24 was in on that. Who's my guy right there? Jaden Williams.
And Matthews as well. I saw him walking away from that pile.
No, that wasn't the wrong guy. Okay, that was McMiller.
So it's going to bring up second down and long.
Mac was in on that one.
Second down and 12, we'll call it. Clock continues to roll. 2:35 to go here in the first quarter. Higgins rolls to the right side. He's got a big rush. He stops, and he goes down at the 43-yard line once again. And a huge tackle there.
Looks like the sack was made by
Dorian Stone. The Stoner was out there. Took him to the ground.
You know, I was talking to the head coach, Howard Brown. Let's look at this. They're loaded with sophomores. They
penetrated there, hooked him from the backside, and took him to the turf.
The Bulldogs graduated about 18 players last year, seniors. So they are sophomore-oriented, and they still won their conference. It was a bit of a surprise, Coach told me. And he said if with Ellen DeGeneres putting these guys on TV this week with a $25,000 donation, they better all have homecoming dates, prom dates, and all that fun stuff. Well, it looks like the Berkeley defense now, the Bulldogs, Don, is they're starting to breathe some fire.
Stone is having a Stone Soul picnic out there with the QB. He's penetrating and taking him down for a loss. So this is an advantage for the Bulldog defense. They're showing that they are here to stay on their home turf.
That's right, kind of a late arriving crowd here. Coach said they usually roll in towards the end of the first quarter, kind of like in California. I guess they're all big stars now, you know. And
seem like they're putting the Lions in a passing situation with so many yards to make up for the losses.
Now it's fourth down, so the punter stands back about the 41-yard line. 4th and 17, so they're not going to go for this one.
You sure about that, Todd?
I'm not sure about that, but I would probably put my odds on that they will. Pretty good kick right here, and it's a fair catch by the Bulldogs. Well, they'll take over 1st and 10. That was fair catch by number 7, Jalen Gardner.
Nathan Smith was the one that caught that one, Todd, number 1.
And we'll take a break with the score. Cardinal Ritter 12, McCluer South Berkeley 0.
You know, I like to keep it saucy. That's why I love
And welcome back to the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week. Don Johnson, Todd Blackstock, and sideline reporter Angela Sharp. Berkeley with the ball right there. McCluer South Berkeley, and looks like Jalen Gardner on the carry right there, and brings it up to, about a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3. And right there, I tell you, Cardinal Ritter's defense comes up strong right there. They push the Bulldogs back to 3rd down, and we're under a minute in the first quarter. 3rd down and 7 Bulldogs. Gardner looks over the middle. He's got a man complete. First down over the middle.
That was a great catch.
Dorian McCurtis.
Curtis looked at it in the hands. They're moving the chains, and that's what the Bulldogs need right now.
And they're all lined. I like it. I like the way that they're up at the line of scrimmage. They're not lounging around. They're just showing urgency here to play ball. Well, there's Cardinal Ritter's defense, so it showed some urgency there.
It was a miscue. It was a miscue.
John Hart.
The offensive line has just been letting them through.
Let's take a look at this, Don. Nice pass over the middle.
Great pass. He looked at it in his hands.
Great hands right there and great coverage by Cardinal Ritter. 10 seconds left to go here in the first. And it looks like they might just let this clock run down. So at the end of the first quarter, it's the Cardinal Ritter 12, McCluer South Berkeley 0. We'll be back. The second quarter action after this.
You know I like to keep it saucy. That's why I love McDonald's new glazed tenders. They're sweet, like me.
Oh, thanks, Grandma. Ooh. Ow.
And spicy, too, like me. Who invited you?
I'm your grandson.
Not in that jersey.
Introducing McDonald's Sweet and Spicy Honey Barbecue Glazed Tenders. Made with all white meat chicken, hand-tossed and glazed to order. They're the perfect combination of sweet and spicy, just like Grandma.
If your superpower is making pizza disappear, then you've got to try Papa John's new Italian Hero Pizza. Featuring a creamy Italian sauce covered with epic portions of pepperoni, salami, Roma tomatoes, onions, banana peppers, and topped with 4 delicious cheeses. About the only thing it doesn't have, artificial flavors and colors. Get a large Italian Hero Pizza for just $10. Download the Papa John's app or order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Okay, in that situation, number 4 got the ball that time. That was a quick pass, and he just took it to the sideline. That was an opening for him. Dorian McCurtis was the guy on that one. So the Bulldogs are advancing the ball, gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, the Bulldogs seem like they're getting warmed up. They've changed field positions. They're going right to left, and they're all black uniforms. And here's a run around the right side. Cameron Cole gets a couple of yards there. We'll go down to our sideline reporter, Angela.
Hey, thanks, Todd. I'm down here with Roy Mosley of McDonald's.
Creating a better customer experience. So by installing now our self-ordering kiosk and the addition of table service, it's going to be a better place for the customer to enjoy all of our menu items.
I love that. And let's talk about those new items. What are some cool new items you have?
Well, right now we're featuring the sweet and spicy honey barbecue glazed tenders for a limited time.
Awesome game going on, right?
Absolutely. It's called Trick, Treat, Win. There's 2 ways to play. One, you can peel packaging peel items from packaging, and also collect coins. So,
Finally, go check out your.
All right, thanks, Angela. 12-0 if you're just joining us in the first quarter. A couple of touchdown runs by Mr. Morrow. I tell you what, things are looking good so far, but it looks like the Bulldogs are coming back. Quarterback drops the ball, and here's Cardinal Ritter, picks it up. The Lions with the ball as number 1, Keith Jones, comes up with it. Just underway here in the second quarter, Don. Yeah, it's happened to him twice now that they've been snake bitten.
Quite a misfortune for the Bulldogs. The quarterback had the ball. He was going to the flare on the side of the field, lost possession of the ball. Here it is. There's a fumble. Ritter picks it up. They're right there at about the 35-yard line.
A big hit right there by Jaden Williams. He kind of separated the quarterback from the ball and allowed that play to happen and allowed Keith Jones to pick it up. And here come the Lions and that high-powered offense. Hagan's quick hitter out to the left side. Caught positive yardage right there. Burton, once again, he seems to be one of the favorite targets here today. A lot of people are keying on number 3, Jamison Williams, with his big signing with Ohio State. So congratulations to the young man there. So they're doubling up. Well, he's got single coverage now on this play as he comes out here to the near side. But Burton has been strong here in the early going. This time it's a handoff up the middle to Morrow. Shamil Morrow with the 2 first-quarter touchdowns, and that's where we're at right now.
Well, seem the difference is the O-line for the Bulldogs don't have that penetration across the line that you see with the Lions of Cardinal Ritter. That's something they have to develop, or either they have to neutralize their man at the line to stop them from advancing the ball.
3rd down and short. Morrow. Oh,
he fumbled it.
Man, big hit. Great pressure by the Bulldogs.
I think there's a turnover.
Wow, so mano a mano. The Bulldogs are like, you know what, we can do this too. They put tremendous pressure on the defensive line there. Great push. And let's take a look at the replay. And we'll get that up here in a bit. So now the Bulldogs get the ball 1st and 10, and fantastic play right there. The defense comes up. Now they look over and say, all right, offense, let's get some points on the board. Run around the left side. Breaking tackles up to the 29-yard line. A nice big run. It looks like an injury on the field. Looks like
down on the field. It's number 10 right there. He's down.
Yeah, it looks like Cole. He's down on the field. So with an injury, we'll go ahead and take a break. We'll step away with the score. Cardinal Ritter 12, McCluer South Berkeley 0.
For more than a century, this For more than a century, the St. Louis Kansas City Carpenters Regional Council has shaped St. Louis. Through trusted alliances, we deliver skilled professional craftspeople, while our business partners provide the kind of quality jobs that keep our economy humming. It's a blueprint that has worked since 1882. A career in union carpentry means great pay, exceptional benefits, and professional skills training unmatched in the industry. We are 22,000 members strong, and we work for St. Louis. Visit carpdc.org.
Are you looking for a career and not just a job? Are you interested in finding out how the Army can help you to achieve your educational goals?
The Army offers more than 150 career choices, which can help you prepare for a lifetime of success, with education benefits that can help you pursue a degree of your choice.
The Army builds character, soldiers who take pride in their service and in making a difference for themselves, their families, and their nation.
For more information and to see if you qualify, call the Belleville Recruiting Center at 618-628-0992.
And brought to you by Fit for Life, Sports and Rehabilitation, A&G Auto Spa, Elite Football Academy, McDonald's, Farmers Insurance, Affinia Healthcare, the U.S. Army, Jet Transportation, Papa John's Pizza, Dead On Sports, St. Louis, Kansas City.
Bulldogs. A sack on the play is after the injury. I tell you, it looks pretty bad for the return of number 10, Cameron Cole, as he limped off with an ankle injury. It looks like Don. He's the leading rusher for the Bulldogs, so they're going to miss him. Gardner. Oh, he's got a man in stride at the 40.
And he turned on
the 50, 40, 30. Brought down all the way down at the 22-yard line right there. Great pitch and catch right there. Is it Torian Smith?
Smith looked like he had a chance to break that wide open. He turned on the afterburners, but they chased him out of bounds.
All right. So it'll bring up 1st and 10. What do you call this with a shotgun formation with the running back?
This is pretty much a pro set.
All right, you got wide receivers 2 to the far side. This time they hand it right up the gut. Pushing forward for yards are the Bulldogs. They're grinding next man up after the injury, and that's going to be Nathan Smith on the carry. Gain of 5, a 2nd down and 5.
Right now they're playing a sight game. The 0-9 is starting to spread out for the Bulldogs to see what the Ritter Lions are reacting to.
And Smith checks out of the game. 2 wide receivers at the far side. Back in the backfield is Smith, Tyreek Smith. And this time it's a run around the left side. Not a whole lot doing right there as Tyreek Smith goes down, just a sophomore.
Well, the defense for the Lions, they played that the way the coaches tell them to. Just penetrate across the line, hold your position, and take the man out.
All right, so Noriel Reyes is in the ball game as well in the backfield. He wears number 30. Got two wide receivers on the far side, 1 here on the near side, 2 backs in the backfield. There's Gardner at the 32-yard line.
And
he throws down incomplete pass. And I tell you what, on the Ritter side, Jaden Williams has been all over the field here in the first half, and Keith Jones as well has been very impressive.
If JW would have pulled that down, Todd, he'd have made the highlight film for Ritter.
He'd have tucked it to the kitchen. A 4th down. The Bulldogs are going to go for it. Ball on the 24-yard line. Gardner back to pass. He fakes it, and he goes down as Cardinal Ritter helmets are flying off. I mean, they're hitting out there. There is some hard hitting going out there as these 2 teams are really battling it out.
Yeah, Gardner lost his cap on that one, so they are hitting out there. But you have to realize that the O-line and his backs have to keep those people off the quarterback. If you're a fullback or a halfback, you have to protect the quarterback. That's your number 1 responsibility.
Yeah, these 2 teams are really going at it out here on the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week, presented by McDonald's. All right, Higgins stands back about the 28-yard line. He hands it off. Oh, and the Bulldogs push through. Outstanding defense right there, in on the tackle, Delano Nettles.
Nettles was right there on time. He penetrated and took him down, and that's what the Bulldogs need more of. Great penetration across that defensive line to stop him in the backfield.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 14 with 7:48 to go in the half. Ball in the right hash mark. And, once again, the defense swarms. Nothing doing right there. Shamel Morrow is brought down in the backfield.
Nettles. Delano Nettles. He's got his mind made up. He's going to impact this game for the Bulldogs.
And he sure is.
Now he's got to get the other guys to buy into what he's doing right now and go across with reckless abandonness.
Luther Burden's been very effective here in the first. And they go across the middle, close to a 1st down right there to the future Ohio State Buckeye, Jamison Williams, 6'2", 175-pounder.
Might be a half a yard short on that. Maybe a yard.
Just his body language, the way he brings the ball, the way he catches it with his hands.
He's a tall receiver, though, Todd.
I bet the Missouri Tigers are not too happy to let him slip away. And this time it's a
fumble.
It was a 1st down. The ball is on the ground, and it's Berkeley. McCluer South Berkeley, and the Bulldogs come up with another turnover.
Can you believe the opportunity to do the defense is making, the Bulldog defense is making for the offense? They give them the ball in prime position. That's almost right there at midfield.
Let's take a look at the replay here. It looks like it was a 1st down. Ball squirts out. So 1st down, 10 yards to go. Bulldogs at the 48-yard line of Cardinal Ritter.
You just kind of wonder whether the whether the defense can electrify the offense, because they're giving them great opportunities, great field position. The offense has just got to come through.
So Cameron Cole, I'm looking for him on the sideline. I see him right there. He's got his ankle wrapped. He's talking over with the trainer right now, and he's got his football in his right hand, and he's trying to walk it off here a little bit. See him walking down here by the water cooler. It looks like he might be walking it off the field. So number 10 is now, he just took a seat on the bench. So that's a delay of game penalty on the Bulldogs. The trainers are looking at Cameron Cole right here on the bench right now. He's limping around significantly. Maybe you can walk this off and possibly get back in the second half. So handoff on the left side, breaking tackles. Back to the original line of scrimmage and more. The Bulldogs right there. Gardner keeps it himself. Excuse me, Nathan Smith. Second down and 7. Gardner looks to the left side, goes to the right side, and he's brought down with a little bit of a loss. Third down and 8, Bulldogs.
Great penetration by the D-line for the Lions. Their penetration, which is not giving the quarterback a lot of time, and he only has one back there to keep him off of him, and it's not working.
Gardner back to pass. He's got a big rush. He cuts it up, gets some yardage back. And I tell you what, a swarming defense by Cardinal Ritter right there. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Bulldogs.
Ritter has a penetrating defense, and they're not giving the quarterback the 3 seconds that's allowed. He's there, and he has to sprint to try to keep from losing the ball, and the Lions' defense is working to perfection.
All right, a punting situation. The punt's away, and it's clean.
It's a good punt. It was angled out of bounds.
Yes, it goes out of bounds. And the Lions will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. Torian Smith on the punt, the senior.
You know, but Todd, when you're trailing, it seems that the clock is working toward the Lions' advantage because they have the lead, and the Bulldogs have yet to cross the goal line.
First down, 10 yards to go. Ball about the 21. The Lions, big hole up the middle. Running, breaking tackles, and spinning down for Cardinal Ritter. Bill Jackson. So Bill Jackson gets into the game.
Keon James, number 45 for the Bulldogs, was on the tackle. At the end, he tried to rip the ball from the ball carrier. The defense is thinking they're trying to get that ball back for the Bulldogs.
So Billy gets it right here. It's a nice hole. Cuts it to the left. Just goes straight to daylight. Spins. Gets a couple more yards. And how about that?
Not this time.
Not this time. This time
Eric Morton was in on that play, number 50 for the Bulldogs. He penetrated across the line. He must be watching and learning from the Lions defense that you get across the line and you stop him in the backfield for a loss.
All right, Mecky Hagan stands back at the 34-yard line. Got wide receivers, 2 split to both sides, going left to right. High snap, flag on the play. And we'll
10,
check this
9,
one out.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Uh-oh, it's against Cardinal Ritter.
It's going to be a legal procedure. And let's send it back down to Angela.
Number 10 on McCluer South Berkeley is still working on that left ankle. They have wrapped and unwrapped that thing about 3 times now, but every time he goes to run it out, he has to go back and redo it again. It looks like he's getting situated. Hopefully he'll be in the game soon. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Angela. 4:18 to go here in the first half. Second down and 15, Lions after a illegal procedure call.
Well, you know, Todd, on the sideline with the man that was carried off who was injured with that ankle situation, you have to keep him moving You have to put a little ice on it to keep it from swelling and see whether he can come back or take him into the locker room at halftime and just see if he can bring it back.
Sometimes adrenaline can get you through the game. Mickey Higgins, he's got a man in stride at the 45. Breaks into Bulldog territory, brought down out of bounds. Nice pitch and catch there. Cameron Coleman on the catch, and a first down for the Lions.
Keon Hill, number 5, brought him down for the Bulldogs. But that was a sizable gain.
All right, Coleman goes to the far side now. We've got wide receivers. They don't mess around. They get up there and they play. They are ready as soon as the referee blows the whistle. They're game. This time it's a handoff up the middle right there to Artrell Miller. And just a short gain there. Nice stop by the Bulldogs.
Torrey McMillan was in on the tackle, number 24. Again, they put.
Right, let's look at this play right here. Big play. Hagen's back. He's got a man
he catches it, he
flying.
comes across.
So Coleman with a nice play. All right, Hagen's back to pass. He's thinking deep. He's going long. He's got an arm. Ho-ho! He was going for the big dog, Jamison Williams. He juggled it a little bit there and couldn't come down with it in double coverage.
That was a great defensive play. I'm telling you, the D-back was right there on him, step for step.
It's a nice shot of Cameron right there.
And that was Nathan Smith. He was going, he walked him down there. When he went up for it, that defender was right there in his eyes.
3rd down and 10 for Cardinal Ritter. Higgins back to pass. He's got time. He's got a man over the middle. It's caught at the 30. Inside the 25 and down, and there he is once again, Jamison Williams.
Jamison's got some hands on him. That was great. That was a look-in pass. He went down and cut it across, took it in, and picked up some yards. Got this hurry-up offense.
All right, first down. This time they hand it off right up the middle to Morrow. Morrow with 2 touchdowns here in the first half.
T. McMillan was in on the tackle, number 24 for the Bulldogs.
3 minutes to go. Here, let's look at this big play here.
Watch him come across. Looked it in his hands. Looked it in his hands.
I tell you what. If Kevon James wasn't right there, that could have been a TD. This one's they turn it up on a run right here to Morrow. And the Berkeley Bulldogs, their defense really strengthening up here in the second quarter of this ball game.
That was Nettles on the play. Delano Nettles.
And we've said his name quite a few times here today.
The D is heeding the call for the Bulldogs.
All right, Hagen's back to pass. He rolls to the right side. He's got some running room. He turns it up and runs out of bounds. Smart play there. Stops the clock and saves his body. 2:04 to go here in the first half.
Saves his body.
Well, they're hitting out there. I mean, these guys aren't playing today.
That was great penetration by the defensive line of the Bulldogs. Covered his receivers. He had no place to go, so he ran out of bounds, but that stopped the clock.
It's going to make it 4th down. They're going to go ahead and go for it. In the backfield with Higgins, Shamil Morrow. Higgins back to the pass. He's got time, but now the pocket collapses. That's a sack, and we're going to head back down to Angela on the sideline.
Hey, thank you. I've got Roy Mosley of McDonald's down here with me. Now, I've taken my nephew to McDonald's. You guys are modernizing everything. Why?
Absolutely, Angela. So we have tried to now enhance the customer experience by now installing the self-ordering kiosk that you love so much.
Yes.
And so we've also partnered with Uber Eats, so now we can bring the food right to your home, work, or even at school. So that's one way of making sure the customer has a better experience at our restaurants.
I love that. And I hear there's a new food item, right?
Absolutely. Sweet and spicy honey barbecue glazed tenders for a limited time. But we also have 100% fresh quarter-pounder beef made to order.
I mean, that tenders sound delightful. And there is a game going on right now. Is it Trick, Treat, Win?
That's right. So you can go www.tricktreatwin. You can go in and look at 2 ways to win. There's you can collect tokens, or you can also collect the packaging pull up the packaging items to win the prizes.
I love that. Well, I'm going to be taking my nephew on Monday, so we're going to definitely check that out. And you guys, everybody loves McDonald's. Go check them out. Back to you, Todd.
Thanks, Angela. That's going to be an incomplete pass there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 with 1:33 to go here in the second quarter.
Now they got Cole, number 10. They bringing him in off and on to see whether he can play on that ankle still, and he's hurting pretty bad.
They got to see if he can make it go. Gardner looks to the left. He's got nowhere to go, and he still squirms out of it. But then he runs into a number 44 there, Rashad McKinney's, and when you run into a guy that big, you go nowhere. 230 pounds and
Yeah, that one was hell. The gang's all here. They got the quarterback, and all the D linemen wanted a piece of him.
And there's a timeout on the field, and with 1:14 left in the second, we'll step away.
We have 4th and 9 from our own 34-yard line.
Fourth down and 9. McCluer South Berkeley Bulldogs. Punting formation, low snap. The kick's a pretty good one there. You got to give it to. And there's a penalty on there. Looks like a block in the back. But here comes the talented wide receiver, return man Williams. He burns it all the way down the sideline. There he goes. He's tripped up at the 30. But there's a big flag all the way back at the 30-yard line, Don.
Exactly. Somebody clipped a man on the side as he was coming down to try to spring the ball carrier.
I tell you what, if the Bulldogs can hold Cardinal Ritter to just 12 points going into halftime, I think they'd be happy to take that.
Without a doubt, but they've got to come out with either a passing attack or the offensive line.
Let's take a look at the replay, see if we can see the flag. Oh, yeah, you saw it right there. It was on number 20. That was Caleb Helms. You see this, look at the athletic ability of this young man, Williams Jamison. Oh, he stops, lets the blockers do their job, turns on the afterburners, and clipped down right there. Unbelievable. Torian Smith with a nice play to stop him right there, but it's all for naught.
All for naught. You got that right. All that running.
But we got to watch the talent and the ability of this kid going to Ohio State. It seems like the Buckeyes have a pipeline into St. Louis. They get some outstanding wide receivers and defensive backs from our area.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay. Morrow with the ball. Shifty. Gets it up past the 25. Nice little run there.
Well, the thing about Moore is that the offensive line is providing him some opening, and he gets to choose which hole he's going to run through. There's not a lot of penetration by the D-line for the Bulldogs.
Hagen's back to pass. And he's got nowhere to go. Where's he going to go? He scrambles out of it around the left side, pulls up, and throws it out of bounds. Smart play with 27 seconds, but there is a flag.
Exactly.
Would that be grounding? I didn't see a receiver, but I thought he was out of the box.
Kind of wonder whether somebody was clipped there also. But the Bulldogs have numerous opportunities to take him to the side, but he slips out of their hands. So you got to give the D for the Bulldogs credit. They've been putting the Lions in some hectic situations and some great losses, and they keep looking over at the offense like, okay, guys, we keep giving you the ball in the right position. You've got to do something.
Trying to sort things out there on the field.
You know, you want to keep Cameron Cole, you want to keep him moving around on that foot, because just to sit there and for it to stiffen up on you.
Yeah, I tell you what. Yep. Intentional grounding right there. So just the Bulldogs have just done tremendous on the defensive side. And a couple of guys, I think Nathan Smith's really done some great things.
Well, they've made him cough up the ball in opportune times, Todd, to give the offense the ball in great field positions. But there's just not been that follow-through, and you can't keep the defense on the field that long.
You know, Delano Nettles, number 17, has played well. Here's Morrow around the right side, outside the 10. I think he steps out of bounds, and that cost him about 8 yards right there, just barely stepping out of bounds. Nice defensive play and pressure right there. Kevon James. 19 seconds left to go here in the first half. 4th down and long. Let's take a look at this replay.
Here it is again. He's coming along. There's a man. See, he got around that end man just about. He stopped him, and he stepped out of bounds. But the D-man at the end of the line has to make sure he does not get around him. So I'm sure the coach will talk about that at halftime, that, hey, once you go across the line, you don't let them get around you. You cut it, make them cut to the inside.
Two good teams here. Cardinal Ritter 7-0. And the Bulldogs 5-2. And there's another whistle as this punt gets off, bounces into Bulldog territory, but there's another flag on the play with 12.6 seconds to go in the first half.
I think number 1, Keith Jones, he was the end man on the line of scrimmage. He may have jumped.
And let's look at some defensive stops here by Cardinal Ritter. Oh, look at that right there. Big play, number 58. Look at that, just the defense. You know, we talked about number 44 there, McKinney's a few times. Joe Moore.
That sounds familiar.
And look at this, just swarm tackling right there. Once again, big Joe Moore, 6'3", 260-pounder. Yeah, right there looks like Quentin Yates.
You know, but as you're looking at the defense for the Bulldogs, those defensive linemen have to keep their feet and keep them moving, and the offensive line has to do the same thing. They just can't hit a man and their feet go to sleep. They have to keep that contact with him and drive him away from him, not just let him slide by.
Nathan Smith back at the 45, and they kick it to the other side. Fair catch, and they let it bounce. It just stays about right there where Keith Jones downs it at the 47-yard line with, looks like, I'm saying 35 seconds left. They're 3.5 seconds. The decimal's a little bit to the right there. So this will probably be the last play of the first half coming up if there's no defensive penalty.
You know, Coach Brown for the Bulldogs, once he gets them in at halftime, he's got to talk to them and let them know one thing. Look, O-line, you got to go fire across, get that man, and let the back pick where he wants to run the ball.
I want this junior quarterback to just air one out. Let's see what he's got. Tosses it over to the right side. He's got a man. That is Cameron Gillespie, and he's tackled. That'll do it for the first half with the score. Cardinal Ritter 12, McCluer South Berkeley 0. We'll go to halftime. We'll be back with halftime highlights and third quarter action after this. You're listening to the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's.
We will be celebrating special seniors for the McCluer South Berkeley football team and our cheerleaders.
All right, guys, I got Coach Gregory right here now. The Bulldogs have held you to 12. What's something that you might want to work on this half?
I will say I told my guys that Coach Brown was going to have these guys come out ready to play, and obviously that's showing, you know. So hopefully we can get going. Lately, the last couple of games, we've been trying to get hit in the mouth first before we was getting going. So hopefully this second half we can turn it up a little bit.
Is there something you really like how the guys are doing?
Like how they fighting through it, you know. At the end of the day, everything not going to be perfect, you know, but it's going to give us a chance to come out the second half and make plays.
All right, well, I'll let you get back to it. Good luck to you, Coach. Back to you guys.
Well, what we're looking at now is that you've got the halftime here, and in this situation, the coaches are going to get them on the sideline, but you are kind of concerned about the injury that number 10 had for the Bulldogs, and he was one of their key guys. That is Cameron Cole. They tried to re-enter Cameron at halfway through the second half, but that ankle is kind of concerning because he was one of their leading receivers and leading runners. So in that situation, him being out, the substitute is going to be a question for the Bulldogs whether they can get someone in there. The coach tried to re-enter him into the game, but again, cutting back and forth and you have a bad ankle, that is just not going to work. Now you look at the other side of the field with Cardinal Ritter. Cardinal Ritter has a dominating defense. They've got number 3 out there, and he's unbelievable. That's Jamison Williams. He's going to go to Ohio State, I've been told. So we're going to go to check on the highlights from the first half right now. There's a pass that got away from him again. That's in the backfield. What happened? Cardinal Ritter picks it up, and they go toward the goal line. He falls a little short, but that was great intuitiveness by the D-line. There's number 17. He goes across there for the score with his legs churning, and that's how they got in the end zone for that first score for the Lions.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us for Senior Day.
Yeah, the PAT right here, they had a little bit of problems. That was blocked right there, so nothing doing with that.
Our seniors on the varsity football team.
Take a look at some of the highlights right there. Once again, the Cardinal Ritter defense is just very strong, and we're going to say his name a lot, Joe Moore.
Number 23, Jason Matthews.
Kicking games had some issues here, both sides of the ball. And you look at number 21 there, Don, Artrell Miller. He's been all over the field. And look at this right here. Morrow pounding this one in, I think, from about 19. That was the end of the scoring right there, as the PAT was no good.
After 4 years of high school, Jason is most proud.
And then the Cardinal Ritter defense, once again, just is elite. Richard McKinney's is just a wall. Well, look at this play, DJ. Oh, yeah, going right up the middle, Tyreek Smith.
He was running with a lot of authority.
Number 23, Jason Matthews.
So nice,
Bam,
and that was look at that hit right there.
That, yeah.
That was the hit of the game. It looked like number 24, Cardinal Ritter, man, Jaden Williams, safety. There's a nice run right there, Luther Burden. He's been well utilized in the first half. Here, Gardner, he throws this one right over the middle.
That was a great catch right there.
Just great concentration.
See, nobody
There's
hit
a
the
fumble right
quarterback
there.
on that. Nobody hit him on that.
Oh, yeah. Keith Jones, his name has been called, his number quite a bit, number 1 in the first half.
Because he's always about business and he's always a hard worker.
And a fun halftime. They're doing their halftime highlights here and program. It's senior night here. Yeah, that was a nice pitch and catch right there.
Yep, but he ran out of field.
Oh, yeah, Torian Smith right there. Fantastic.
The next senior we have the great honor of introducing to you today wears number 17. He is Delano Nettles.
Delano is escorted today by his mother, Joanna Nettles, his father, Irvin, his best friend, Jeremiah Brooks, his sister, Janae Nettles, his granny, and his friends. An interesting fact about Delano you may not know is that he likes to write poems. His favorite meal is Cajun shrimp Alfredo. His favorite athlete in any sport is Eric Berry from the Kansas City Chiefs because he beat cancer and returned to win Comeback Player of the Year. After 4 years of high school, Delano is most proud of being the young man that he has become.
He would like to say thank you to all the coaches for telling him this would be great and pushing him to the limit. Ladies and gentlemen, number 17. The next senior we have the great honor of introducing to you today is the fullback and defensive end, number 26, Jelani Nunley. Jelani is escorted today by his mother, Roma Smallwood, his grandmother, Patricia Smallwood, his older sister, Latanya Smallwood, friends of family, Tiffany Harris, and his niece, Kristen Thorpe. And you can see that about Jelani, you know, he likes to enjoy both sides. His favorite team and any sport is McCluer S because it's the only team that made him love the sport all over again. Jelani's favorite high school memory is the road trip back and forth from Blair Oaks his junior year. And after 4 years of high school, he's most proud of finishing and being the first with his last name to graduate. Jelani's future goals include majoring in computer science and business, opening multiple businesses, supporting his family, and giving back to Berkeley. Jelani would like to say thank you to his grandmother and mother for being the inspiration they needed during the Berkeley moment. Ladies and gentlemen, number 26, Jelani Nunley. Number 60, Isaiah Jackson. Isaiah is escorted today by his mother, Aja. His favorite meal is pizza and hot wings. His favorite team in any sport is the Boston Celtics because his favorite high school memory so far is winning the district championship for the last 2 years in a row against St. Charles West. After 4 years of high school, he's most proud of losing weight and staying healthy. His future goals include attending Missouri Western University to focus on computer engineering. After 4 years of high school, he would like to thank Ms. Joe for giving us the time teaching and working, and he couldn't focus on his work. Ladies and gentlemen, and starting left guard number 50, Isaiah Jackson.
Up there.
And the senior we have the honor of introducing is the fullback, number 30, Noriel Reyes. Noriel is escorted today an interesting fact that you might know about Noriel is that the only one that he likes to do as a hobby is drawing. His favorite meal is cooking, and his favorite team in any sport is the Berkeley Bulldogs because they're mainly about having faith and taking hard work. Noriel's favorite memory so far in high school was during wrestling season when he did a hip toss on Coach Williams. After 4 years of high school, he's most proud of the person that he's become, and he wants to thank everybody he's met. His future goals include attending a college to become a graphic designer or an animator, and he would like to say thank you to Coach Brown because he taught him what he was to be a man, and also what it means to be a great father. Ladies and gentlemen, number 20, Noriel Reyes. The next senior we have the honor and privilege of introducing to you today, wears number 50, Eric Morton. Eric is escorted today by his mother, and his sister Rachel. Eric, everybody's favorite meal is pizza and tacos. His favorite team his future goals include to become successful and he would like to say thank you to all of his coaches and his teammates. Because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have been able to get out of school because it's just so special. Eric would like to add one last thing. D-line and O-line, some of the
Number 50, Eric Morton. The next senior we have the honor and privilege of introducing affectionately goes by the name T2. He wears number 2. This is Torian Smith. Torian is escorted today by his mother Angela and his little sister Taylor. His favorite meal is chicken strips, and his favorite athlete in any sport is Kevin Durant because he's unguardable. After 4 years of high school, he's most proud of playing sports all 4 years and being a 3-sport athlete. His future goals include becoming a sports marketer, and Torian would like to say thank you to all of his coaches because they've been there for him all 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Torian Smith. The next athlete we have the honor and privilege to introduce to you wears number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nathan Smith. Nathan is escorted today by Nathan Smith Sr., Stephanie Ramey, Tyra Smith, his brother, Tyreek Smith, Lyrie Smith, Nashawn Smith, Christian Esters, Kayla Wallace, and Ariana McMiller. Nathan's favorite meal is lasagna. His favorite teams are the Los Angeles Rams, and his favorite athlete in any sport is LeBron James. After 4 years of high school, Nathan is most proud of having the ability to play football in college. His future goals include owning an accounting firm, and Nathan would like to say thank you to everyone who believed that he could do great things. Ladies and gentlemen, starting running back and defensive back, number 1, Nathan Smith. The next senior we'd like to introduce is number 23, Jason Matthews. Jason is escorted today by his mom, Keisha, his dad, Jason, his sister, Jasmine, and his brother, Dion Miller Harris. Jason's favorite meal is pizza. His favorite team in any sport is the Arizona Cardinals because his favorite cornerback is Patrick Peterson. Jason's future goals include becoming an aerospace engineer, and Jason would like to say thank you to all of his coaches because even though he came in scrawny and short, they never doubted him. Ladies and gentlemen, a starting defensive back, number 23, Jason Matthews. Last and certainly not least, the final senior we have the honor and privilege of introducing to you today wears number 45. His name is Kevon James. Kevon is escorted today by his mother Lisa James, his grandmother Lucy James, and his little cousin Demaya Martin. Some interesting facts about Kevon you might not know is that he likes to play chess, and he's the best Madden player on the entire team. His favorite meal is chicken, fries, and honey biscuits. His favorite athletes are Ezekiel Elliott and Jason Tatum because they are young killers that came from St. Louis. His favorite high
After 4 years of high school, he's most proud of starting in the semifinals in his sophomore year and going first team all conference in two different sports. His future goals include attending the Berkeley University, playing football, and studying journalism.
She was getting on your Batman side the first day.
She's being escorted by her brother Devontae, her friends Jordan and AJ. Let's hear it for you, Nick. Our next senior cheerleader is India. Our next senior cheerleader is India.
after high school or to attend Tennessee State University. She'd like to thank everyone who has supported her so far because she doesn't think she could have done it without them. Her favorite cheer memory was cheer bonding with Captain and working on yoga poses in the aerobics room. She's being escorted by her fellow cheerleaders. Our next senior cheerleader is Trinity. After high school, Trinity plans on getting her EMT license while eventually becoming an RN. And in between, she's going to work on pursuing her modeling career. The people she'd like to thank are Coach B.I. and Coach Grigsby for being the best coaches ever and always supporting her. Her favorite cheer memory, she says there are way too many to choose a favorite. Every moment with her cheer family is her favorite memory. Trinity was escorted by her friends and cheer family. Our next senior cheerleader is Tracy. Our next senior cheerleader is Tracy. She's one of our captains. Her plans after high school are to attend Maryville University to study nursing. The people she'd like to thank are her family and friends for supporting her. She'd also like to thank Coach B.I. and Grigsby for being there for the team. Her favorite cheer memory are when we had our first cheer off here at MSB when she was a sophomore. She's being escorted by her grandmother, her brother, and friends and family. Our final cheer senior to be recognized and also a captain is Miranda. Miranda's plans after high school is to attend Arizona University. She'd like to thank Miss McDonald for always being there to help and everyone that has supported her through high school. Her favorite cheer memory was the cheer bonding with Afton. She's being escorted by her special friend Devontae and her other cheer friends Aiden and Jamie. Let's give a round of applause for class of 2019 cheerleaders.
All right, next up, we would like to recognize the singers from the McCluer South Berkeley. First, I'd like to start off with Kalia Summers. Kalia Summers, her mom is Felicia Morgan. Kalia has a particular college that she'd like to go to. She'd like to go to Northwest Virginia State.
Yeah, Don!
That's you, All right, hey, you know, it's the Farmers Insurance has a family of a game, and Lisa, you guys are the family of a game. It's Willis/James, right? And I love that you've got the son there, right there on your shirt. I take it he's a senior?
Yes, last game at home.
Last game at home, and that makes you kind of emotional, and you guys all had to win a parade here during halftime of the seniors. Is it kind of cool to see some of these guys grow up and then move on?
Yes, I've been with the school since 2002 as a teen mom, and just to see some that came back and some as they're growing up and get ready to go to college is just a great feeling.
I love that. Now, there's been talks about turning this school into a middle school and kind of getting rid of this high school, and I know you're passionate against that.
Yes, ma'am. I just don't understand. My biggest thing is, how can you move 550 students from a high school just to bring 150 in? If you're saying that we're under our capacity of 1,100, but you're going to take 550 and move them out to bring 150, you're bringing it down to 10%. So I'm not an accountant or a specialist, but it's basic math. Bring the 150 with the 550, and then we all can just collaborate together. We're one district, one school.
I mean, I like a theory on that, but let's spin it a little positively. Okay. Ellen DeGeneres kind of delivered some money to the football team here. I'm sure that made you proud.
Yes, it did, because Coach Brown is a very big advocate for our team and our boys as a whole. I've seen him help a lot of students that were basically going the wrong way, and he helped them, and they're college students, college graduates, and he just does a big thing, not only clean their uniforms, which they had on there, he feeds them, he makes sure they all have nutrition and meals before every game.
Got to love that. Well, you are our family of the game. Thank you very much. Can I get a Go Bulldogs?
Go Bulldogs!
And welcome back. Third quarter action here at McCluer South Berkeley with the score. Cardinal Ritter 12, McCluer South Berkeley 0. Don Johnson's with me and Angela Sharp on the sideline. And Don, Cardinal Ritter came out, took advantage of a Berkeley turnover, put one in right away, came back. Another touchdown run by Morrow. Both PATs were unsuccessful, and that's where we stand now. 12-0 at halftime going into the third quarter. But, Don, I tell you what, I think that the Bulldogs are happy to only be down 12 because their defense really came up strong in the second quarter.
Well, the Bulldogs have been the spark that the team defense Bulldogs needed to be taking their stands on the field because, again, if it hadn't been for that, the offense didn't really put out too much during that first half. But the defense got them balls in crucial situations. They weren't that far from the goal line. Whenever they had opportunities to either play perfect defenses with the back going down and try to catch a pass or to tackle somebody in the field and cause a fumble, the defense was constantly doing the situation that would give the offense the opportunity to make advances, but the offense was just kind of stymied. So I'm sure that the coach went in at halftime, talked to the offense, told the lineman, look, you're going to have to stay at your block. You're going to have to keep him off the quarterback because he can deliver the ball.
And second quarter has begun on the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's. And Cardinal Ritter with the ball, starting off the second quarter. Caleb Roberson with a return up past the 30, close to the 35, where the Lions will start out. We're just underway.
Again, the D-line for the Bulldogs have to play reckless more than they did the first half to get this ball back and to wear the offensive line down for the Lions.
So Cardinal Ritter with the ball on the 34-yard line, a first down, 10 yards to go. Ritter and White going right to left.
They go for a pro set. They're trying to get that down there. Again, if you look at what's happening with the Lions, they want to get to the ball, snap it, get the next play on, keeping the defense for the Bulldogs off balance. So they're really working on quick releases and getting back to the line.
All right, Higgins has got his man, Jamison Williams, past the 40, and stride to 50. Spins around, fumbles the ball, and is picked up by Berkeley. Unbelievable turn of events to start the second half. Larry Miles picks it up, and it's first down, Bulldogs.
Who let the dogs out?
Who?
Unbelievable play by the defense. They've been that way all game. The offense.
Let's take a look at this.
Here he is. He made the catch, turned it upfield, carried it with one hand, stripped that hand. Number 2 got him. The recovery.
So Larry Miles, big heads-up play right there.
Defense have their head in the game.
And this Bulldogs defense has been stellar since the second quarter at least. And looks like Gardner's going to keep it. Morrow back in the game, number 10. He suffered an ankle injury, and he's obviously limping out there, but he's going to give it a go here to start the second half.
Well, that's the way it is when you're in the game and you think you got a contribution you want to give to the team, and your offensive line and the quarterback, they're all looking for you to do something. You don't want to let them down.
11:10 to go. Early here in the third. Hand up the middle. Nothing doing there. This is turning into a defensive battle in a game we thought would really be airing it out, as Cameron Cole gives it a go, but he does not appear to be at full speed by any means. You see him limping around, but he's going to gut it out, and you got to let him try it out here. This pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I look over there, and I see a very large body, Jeremiah Hayes, a 6'1", 280-pounder.
Well, the problem for the Bulldogs offensive line is too many people standing and looking around, not driving somebody backwards, but letting them hit them, penetrate, and get the man in the backfield. That has to stop.
Jones and Williams back. The kick is a low line drive. It takes a Bulldog bounce, and it's picked up. And breaking tackles, about the 28-yard line is where the Lions will take over 1st and 10. And it was picked up, actually it was picked up by Coleman. Cameron Coleman there, I believe. And
Coleman is a gambler.
Well, he wants to touch the ball.
Coleman is a gambler because, hey, there was a lot of Bulldogs around him.
Well, here's Coleman and Jamison Williams here on the near side. 10:35 to go here in the third quarter. Long snap. Higgins gets it in motion to the right side. Looks like one of his favorite targets today, Luther Burden, with a nice play there. And looks like he may have got enough for the first down.
Well, the advantage for the Lions in that situation is that they have the receiver out there, and he's in a one-on-one situation. If he can get past that man, he's going to make a sizable yards, and the Lions are going to maintain first downs and marching down the field.
Well, there's a flag on the play, so this may be coming back. And I believe preliminary indications say illegal man downfield. So take away a nice little play there by the Lions. The Lions coming in here undefeated. They beat Confluence 82-0 to start the season.
What about Elias?
How about they beat East St. Louis or actually they beat Cahokia at East St. Louis 20-12. Slipped by St. Dominic 12-10. Destroyed Helias 61-35. Took care of Tolton Catholic 49-14. Beat St. Mary's 49-19. And snuck by Borgia last week 40-35 away. Oh, here's Jamison Williams. First down Lions. Gets out there past the 40.
They're giving him that pass all day. They're backing up. He's coming down, cutting across the field. He and the quarterback are looking eye to eye, and he just pulls his pass in.
Two of the top performers in the area. Here's Morrow around the right side, cuts it up north and south, breaks the tackle, spins out near the 50-yard line. A second down and short. Nice run by Morrow.
That was a nice run, but you got to give credit to the O-line for the Lions. They're stopping people from penetrating so he can take it to the far sideline and cut it upfield.
So they're right at the midfield stripe. 10:06 to go in the third. Hagens hands it off this time to Jackson, Willie Jackson. So Bill gets it down close to the first down, and looks like the chains are moving. So Jackson gets enough. And we're right at the 10-minute mark of the third quarter.
What the Bulldog defense has to watch, they got to put the shoulder pad in him and quit trying to make arm tackles.
Hagens, quick pitch and catch around the far side. There's Burton again, inside the 30. Slips past the defender. 10-5. Touchdown. A 46-yard touchdown. Hagens to Burton, Luther Burton. And it's 18-0 Lions.
What was the mistake made on that situation? Again, they're tackling with the arms, not putting the shoulder pads in and wrapping him up. So if you got a pretty strong runner, he can shake it loose from that and go downfield, and that's what's happened as he broke to the opening and across the goal line.
So now it's time for the PAT. They're going to go for two. Hagens. He looks to the right side, and he goes right over the middle into the end zone for the PAT. And this time it's Jackson. Back to him, and it's 20-0 Cardinal Ritter over the Bulldogs.
Just seemed that the defense was unable to come back after they scored.
Now let's take a look at this replay, Don.
Here's on the far side. See, the first
Spins
man
out.
missed him, right? Here comes the second man. He cuts past him, cruising in. Summer breeze in
Makes
the
me
end
feel
zone.
fine.
In the end zone. He made that one look easy.
Wow, so after some excellent defensive work by the Bulldogs, Cardinal Ritter, they press a couple of buttons, they spread it around to these speedsters, and they're up 20-0.
But it's been some miscues by the Bulldog on the defense that have been solid all game, that they aren't putting the shoulder pad in and wrapping him up, but they're trying to arm tackle him, and they're shaking the loose from him. So that's just not basic football. You have got to tackle him with some authority and wrap him up.
So Luther Burton with a touchdown. Now he's going to kick it off. Picked up by the Bulldogs. Oh, nice tackle right there. Cardinal Ritter.
He got stuck and he wrapped him up. That's basic football.
Sure was. Mano a mano. Right there, bringing the ball back, Nathan Smith. So it's going to be first down and 10. The ball placed about the 27, 28-yard line for the Bulldogs, and they desperately need to get on the scoreboard.
The offense has to come up right now because the clock is working against them.
All right, checking out of the ball game is Cameron Gillespie. They hand it off, delayed handoff, busting it outside. The running back Smith gets past the 30, and a pretty nice little gain right there by Nathan Smith.
Well, the thing was, he had the hesitation inside, which kind of made the defense watch him, and he broke it to the outside, and he's got the speed to get around there. So he picked up about 7 yards on that play.
All right, Smith remains in the backfield. Got a man in motion here, McMiller. And they keep it with Smith, and Nathan runs out of bounds, stops the clock at about the 37-yard line.
The Bulldogs are running to the short side of the field. Now, the only way that would be an advantage if you had the offensive lineman going downfield and blocking. But right now the defense is just going to run him out of bounds to stop the clock and the progress of the ball.
So 3rd down and short for the Bulldogs. And Gardner keeps it, goes down, loses yards. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and here comes the punting team.
With a situation like this, Todd, the defense is being worn down. You can't expect them to spend that much time on the field and still rise to the occasion time after time after time.
Jamison Williams standing back at the 32-yard line, along with Cameron Coleman. Coleman comes up to about the 40. It looks like Coleman's going to get it, and he gets it, and there's a flag on the field, and fair catch is made, and we'll sort this one out.
Yep, I don't think the Bulldogs were settled on the line when the ball was snapped.
We're at the 8:47 mark. If you're just joining us on the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week, presented by McDonald's. Don Johnson in for Demetrius Johnson. Angela Sharp back from her work with the Tampa Bay Rays. And I'm Todd Blackstock. And they're going to go ahead and do a re-kick here, Don. Beautiful day for football. You know, there's a lot of these games are on AstroTurf fields. They've got a great track here at McCluer South Berkeley. And they've got one of the greatest track programs in the history of the area. And here's a kick. It takes a McCluer Berkeley South bounce.
It did take a Berkeley bounce, you're right.
And the Lions of Cardinal Ritter will take over on their own 43-yard line with 8:36 to go. We'll step away.
For more than a century, the St. Louis Kansas City Carpenters Regional Council has shaped St. Louis. Through trusted alliances, we deliver skilled professional craftspeople, while our business partners provide the kind of quality jobs that keep our economy humming. It's a blueprint that has worked since 1882. A career in union carpentry means great pay, exceptional benefits, and professional skills training unmatched in the industry. We are 22,000 members strong, and
Hagan's over the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Kalen Smith, the 6'2", 185-pounder.
You know, the coach is going to talk to him. That was just a lack of concentration. He was all alone. All he had to do was look the ball in. He's a little bit too relaxed, you know. So he's going to the sideline now. I'm sure the coach is going to ask him, how did you miss that all alone?
Another whistle on the play. They got Papa John's up in the house here tonight. They just took a Papa John's pizza up on top here, up on top of the press box.
Some yummy for the tummy.
Yeah. Papa John's they take care of our halftime summary. And a great job with those replays by the truck. Good camera work by the Prep Zone crew here today. Second down and 15. He handed it straight up the gut. Pushing forward right there is Morrow. And the clock rolls down to 8:20 of the third.
You know, the Bulldog defense has to keep that intensity going across there because time and time again they've risen to the occasion. So the defense is really in command as far as the Bulldogs concerned. The offense has to regroup and keep possession of the ball.
Third down and 15. More like 13. Hagan's back to pass. He's got all day. Rolls to the left, got a little pressure. Spins it down the sideline. Caught by Burden right inside the 50. He looks like he turned his ankle as he's limping off the field. And he's been a big part of this Cardinal Ritter offense today.
Yeah, definitely. He hurt that ankle. He was spinning around after he made the catch. And that might have been something he shouldn't have done. But he'll keep moving, try to work it off and get back in the game.
Yeah, I think he'll be back. His injury wasn't as bad, I don't think, as Cameron Cole's. And Cole is back in the game. So I think he'll walk this one off. But the field's in good shape. Let's take a look at the replay here. He rolls to the left after getting a lot of time.
Back,
he brings it down. He spins it.
Right.
Yeah, he just tweaked it right there at the very end. But the field is in great field, great condition. I was down there before the game talking to the coaches, and it's a perfect field for football today. Oh, this one takes a great Cardinal Ritter bounce all the way inside the 10, almost to the 5, where they're going to back the Bulldogs way deep in their own zone.
As high as that kick was, it seemed like the receiver would have got up under the ball and caught it.
That would have been a smart move. So they're going to mark it on the 6, 7:39 to go here in the third.
Now, the Lions defense is going to play with reckless abandonness. They're ahead by 2 touchdowns now, and they've got nothing to lose because of what? The Bulldogs have not scored, so you can see the defense for the Lions kicking and taking names to try to get to the quarterback or who's ever carrying the ball.
All right. So after a meeting with head coach Brown, first down and a whistle. Whistles all over the place. Laundry all over the field.
The Bulldogs are deep in their own territory, inside the 10-yard line. So, again, the Lions are going to be reckless trying to get across there to see if they can down the ball in the end zone.
We're going to call a legal procedure on the offense. So they're going to push the Bulldogs back even further. Now they're down about the 3-yard line. First down and 13. Gardner plays it safe, hands it up the middle. Try to get a little bit of breathing room there.
No particular place to go, because the Lions were penetrating across the line, and they're going to tackle you in the backfield. So the Bulldogs are going backwards, backwards, backwards.
And this is a run to the right, and there's almost a safety there. There's a dangerous play right there by the quarterback. Comes around the right side, and that's going to bring up.
Well, Gardner's trying to read the defense to see whether they'll follow the man in motion so he can run upfield.
They're standing back in the end zone. It's a safety waiting to happen. But they have a man. It's caught.
But look where he caught it.
Yeah, he threw the ball about 40 yards through the air, and it was caught for about a 4 or 5 yard gain there. And it's going to bring a 4th down. But they did give themselves a little bit of breathing room for the punt. You don't want to be standing back at the end stripe. So now I think the Bulldogs at least have bought themselves a little bit of room for the punter.
If that was breathing room, it was with one nostril, okay?
Don Johnson for Missouri Tiger. Don scored 2 touchdowns versus Notre Dame to beat the Fighting Irish when they were #1 in the country back in the early 1970s. So Don's played a little ball in his day.
Well, like I said, it's a team effort.
Hey, let's go to an injury update with Angela.
The Fit for Life Sports Rehabilitation Injury Update. Luther Burden, number 10, Cardinal Ritter. He got stretched out a little bit by the trainer, walking it off, just like you said, Todd. He should be out next play.
All right, and we'll see if we can get an update. We do have Cameron Cole back in the game right now, so I guess he's doing okay, but he doesn't seem to be 100% right now. 6:02 to go here. The Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's.
CJ will not be able to give you that leg and take it away because it's all wrapped up.
And here's Jackson up the middle. He breaks through, breaks tackles, running hard down inside the 15. Great field position for Cardinal Ritter. They take advantage immediately.
I'm telling you, the Bulldog defensive line cannot stand up and try to watch where the ball is. They have to penetrate, push the man in front of them backwards, and jam that back in the backfield. Right now they're standing up, and the O-line is taking this toll.
This one, the Bulldogs stiffen up here on this play. They go right back to Jackson. A couple receivers here on the near side. You got Cameron Coleman and
they're knocking on the door.
Jamison Williams. But they run it around the left side. And nice defense there. The ball was ran right there by Artrell Miller. But Larry Miles comes up big, man. I tell you what, they lost yards there. It's going to be 3rd down and long for Ritter.
Great penetration by the Bulldog defense. That's what they have to do, come across the line and stop the ball, not stand up and look for it.
We approach the 5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. It's been a tough-fought battle, but Cardinal Ritter up 20-0 at the point. Hagen's back to pass. He's got a man in the end zone. There he is. Jamison Williams, 15th touchdown of the season. That makes it 26-0. Cardinal Ritter.
Now, you know what the situation was with that for Cardinal Ritter. They like Jamison out there one-on-one with one receiver. So they give him whichever side he wants to play on. And as long as it's one-on-one, he's going to find a way to get open. Here's a replay. Catches it. Catches it 2 feet inbound right there at the edge.
So that's Hagen's 2nd touchdown pass. And he's up to 32 TDs on the season as he is flourishing. Burden in for the kick, and he's a little hurt. They fake it. I'm not sure what that was.
That was a knuckleball.
I'm not sure what I just saw. But with 4:51 to go in the 3rd, it's Cardinal Ritter 26, McCluer South Berkeley 0.
Are we playing soccer down there, Tom? That did not have any aerial assault at all.
Oh, the young man just hurt his knee. I thought it was a fake.
Looked like he was trying to kick that to hit somebody.
Caught me off guard. So both teams, they just hustle up to the line of scrimmage. There's not a lot of downtime.
I know, but you got to talk to the Bulldogs. Nobody comes to your house and slaps your face. The offense has got to get in the game. The defense is being worn down.
I tell you, they're hanging in there. They graduated 18 seniors last year. So the fact that the Bulldogs won conference is kind of a big deal. They're playing with a lot of sophomores on this team. And here comes the return. And on the tackle once again, Artrell Miller. He's been effective on both sides of the ball. And I believe that was David Collins on the return. Looks like he got hit pretty hard.
Todd, you know, a lot of situations that happen in high school because sometimes some of these teams don't have as many players. So that forces some players to go both ways. You know, and the scouting team, so that way everybody on the field is moving around. There's no one watching the game or watching practice on the sideline because why? You only have about maybe 30 or 35 players where there used to be a lot more people that were on the team. But today, that's going through a transition.
First down and 10, ball at 27. Flag on the play. Handoff up the middle. Immediate swarm by the defense. Another flag comes in. Jeremiah Hayes on the tackle. I tell you, the cheerleaders, they're getting down right now. They're having fun. They haven't given up yet.
Well, no, they're not going to give up.
They're exciting.
We're nowhere near the 4th quarter.
I tell you, it was a really very, very cool halftime show here out here at McCluer South Berkeley. They really put on a show, introducing all the seniors and, you know, and talking about some of the great things that they aspire to do. So having a good time out here. So they're going to call holding on the Bulldogs.
Bulldog offense has got to put together some consistency, and that's been lacking. They've been hit and miss most of the game. So you wonder, do we rely on the receivers now? And if you do, the defense is just going to drop back and play the pass.
Straight up the gut there, brought down by Keith Jones.
The thing about the running game is that it is going to eat up the clock for the Bulldogs, and that's really not what they need right now. They need a quick score.
This Ritter defense has been solid today. And once again, I mean, you see the same guys in there. You see big number 58, Joe Moore. You know, you see the big lineman, Jeremiah Hayes. I mean, and you look in there, Rashad McKinney's. These guys aren't playing. Quentin Yates. These guys are beasts. Look over there, DeMarco Fitz. Third down and 20. Gardner back to pass. He goes over the middle. He's got his man.
Good hand.
Caught, but just short. Great catch right there over the middle as Dorian McCurtis pulls it in, but he looks to be just short. And at this point in the game, down 26 with 3:20 to go, it looks like the Bulldogs are going to go ahead and go for it. 4th and short, but they're going to leave themselves up to giving Cardinal Ritter some phenomenal field position if they don't get it. Oh, that's a nice play action. First down.
Cut it back.
The Bulldogs going down inside the 35. And the 30. Brought down inside the 24. How about that play right there? Kevon James. One of the big plays of the game.
And the save was by Caleb Robinson. He stopped him, number 7. He stopped the TD because I'm telling you, he juked and avoided some tackles, and he was turning it upfield until he met Robinson.
Well, it's the senior right there, Kevon James. He'll never forget that play in his senior year on senior day. Uh-oh. Wow.
There's a loss. I'm telling you, they are letting them penetrate that offensive line.
Yates and Moore. Look at this one.
Here's a catch. He turned it upfield right there. There he is. Goes back toward the middle, avoiding it. There's
What's
a
the
tackle
Speedbirds
right there. Situation that happened.
Gardner's got a rush, rolling to the right side, rolling for his life, runs out of bounds, and tries to spin around. And he's smoked over there by Anthony Baker.
That pursuit by the Lion D, him spinning around was not a good move.
Uh-oh. Limping off the field right now is Cameron Cole. He looks like he might have tweaked himself again as the young man is very courageous getting back in this game. The trainer is immediately talking to him.
His mobility is very limited, Todd.
He's gutted out, but you might have to put a fresh body in there. Here's his pass over the left side. It's caught. And spinning down. Oh, look at this. Breaking touchdowns. Breaking it down inside the 10. Pushing towards a touchdown. And that was Gillespie. Cameron Gillespie. Let's look at this.
Here's a highlight. Watch him concentrate on the catch.
Now that one right there was the play before. But we'll come back to that one if we can. Handoff around the left side. A lot of hard hitting out there on that. Not much there for the Bulldogs.
Well, you kind of wonder the coach for the Lions maybe putting some substitutes in there to give them some game type experience and letting his other boys kind of rest up.
Well, here's a run up the middle, very successful. Is it Noriel Reyes? Let me see how this unfolds here. Or Dorian Stone. That's Stone. They go right back to Stone off left tackle, and he comes down immediately. Quentin Yates in on it, right in there as well. Elijah Graham.
Now, if you notice the tempo of the game, Todd, what they've done, they're starting to steal from the Lions because they want to get right back into the huddle after the down is made.
It's 4th down. We're under a minute for the third quarter. Gardner looks to the right side, throws it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown! Bulldogs, Tony McMiller, the junior tight end. And the Bulldogs are on the board.
That gives them a great deal of respect for themselves, knowing that this team can take it down there and score the ball. That's what they've been lacking all game. So we'll see what effect that'll have on the defensive unit, knowing that the offense has finally come through. Oh, mistake. Mistake.
So the PAT's no good and makes the score. Cardinal Ritter 26, McCluer South Berkeley 6.
Here it is. Here's a pass. Bang. He catches it, walks across, and bam. That alleviates the total embarrassment that was taking place, Todd.
Well, embarrassment on the score, but I tell you what, these kids are playing. I mean, they're hitting hard, both sides of the ball. This team's sophomore laden. They've won their conference. They're going to come back next year as juniors, so there's a huge upside to the McCluer South Berkeley Bulldogs. I mean, this is a young team. They're fighting for – they just scratched out a touchdown here. They're playing their whole team. They're bringing the seniors in, getting them some looks on senior day, and they're playing an undefeated Cardinal Ritter team who's put up 82 points against Confluence. They put 61 points up against Helias, 49 points against Tolton Catholic, 41 against St. Mary's, 40 against Borgia, and they've held them to 26 so far. So I think they're playing pretty solid even though they're down 20.
But for the defense to see the offense go across that goal line, that gives them an adrenaline rush, and they're going to come back out here and hit because they know one thing. Hey, we do have the ability to be in the game with Ritter.
Now they know they can score. Here comes the run-up and the kick. Here comes Cardinal Ritter. Jamison Williams, man, he just smooth. He just kind of slides and glides up to about the 48. Great field position for the Lions as they just come right back. 33 seconds left to go here in the third.
You kind of wonder whether the Bulldogs can put a man on the receiver number 3 over there and give him a little whooping before he gets off the line, as opposed to back away from him and let him have a wide open start.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after that touchdown, let's give it up. Let's push the defense.
First down, 10 yards to go. And a man in motion.
There you go.
Breaks a tackle. Wow, nice run right there. Caleb Roberson breaks a tackle and gets back close to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, in that situation,
yeah, did lose a couple, though.
Man came across the line of scrimmage to number 11. He had him where he wanted him.
Yeah, Larry Miles, he's wishing he could get that back, but it was still a loss of 3 or 2, so it's going to be 2nd and 2 with 26 seconds to go in the third. Hanging up to Morrow. Morrow breaks a tackle, spins down to the 45. Nice run.
Gotcha.
Looks like holding on Cardinal Ritter.
$18 seconds left. It's a flag on the play.
They're talking to the Bulldog defense. That's a good sign.
It's a good sign for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but the Bulldogs have to realize they have to get the defensive line to come across, deliver a blow, and come across and make the offensive line for the Lions step back.
So that's going to be holding on Cardinal Ritter. They're going to push him back. It's going to bring up 2nd and long.
And again, the defense for the Bulldogs, they have to put those shoulders in there and take them to the ground.
Hagens, a little screen play here. Caught up past the 46-yard line right there. Nice little catch. Cameron Coleman get a little bit back right there for the Lions.
Yeah, that was a little come-around pass.
I love those sideline passes. All right, that'll do it. At the end of the third quarter, Cardinal Ritter 26, McCluer South Berkeley 6. We'll be back after this from the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week, presented by McDonald's.
If your superpower is making pizza disappear, then you've got to try Papa John's new Italian Hero Pizza. Featuring a creamy Italian sauce covered with epic portions of pepperoni, salami, Roma tomatoes, onions, banana peppers, and topped with 4 delicious cheeses. About the only thing it doesn't have, artificial flavors and colors. Get a large Italian Hero pizza for just $10. Download the Papa John's app or order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
I know a thing or two about chicken, and I love these new honey barbecue glazed tenders. Maybe because they're sweet, like me. He's just gonna love this. Adorbs. Or maybe because they're spicy, like me.
Thank you for the sweater.
You're welcome.
Introducing McDonald's Sweet and Spicy Honey Barbecue Glazed Tenders. Made with all white meat chicken, hand-tossed and glazed to order. They're the perfect combination of sweet and spicy, just like Grandma.
Has it started?
As we start the fourth quarter, Hagens with a huge rush over there chasing Hagens down. Delano Nettles. And he threw that one away to start the fourth quarter. There's a flag on the play, 2nd down and 10 for Cardinal Ritter.
Yeah, it seemed like he originally ditched that one because he was running out of bounds.
Check that. That was 3rd and 11. That makes it 4th down and long, but there is a penalty. We're going to sort this out. So it looks like illegal man downfield. Penalty is declined. That'll bring it up about 4th down and 11. With 11:50 to go, just underway here in the fourth quarter. Great day for football. It's in the 50s, a little breezy. And here's a short, high punt by the Lions. It takes a Lions bounce. It takes a real nice bounce down about the 26-yard line where the Bulldogs will take over. They've got some momentum. They just stopped Cardinal Ritter, and they just scored. They're going to try to pounce more into this Cardinal Ritter lead here early in the fourth quarter.
Now, if I was the offensive line coach for the Bulldogs.
All right, Bulldogs.
Tell you what, the Bommarito Automotive Prep Zone Game of the Week, we'd like to thank them. Presented by McDonald's.
We're down. We need some cheering.
I'm loving it.
We want the Bulldogs to love it too.
Man, I'm ready for one of those Big Macs with a quarter. I want like a quarter pounder on a Big Mac. You know, like put 2 of the quarter pounder patties on a Big Mac.
Pass the fries, Todd.
McDonald's got the best fries. Comes Gardner around the left side. Ooh, looks like almost a face mask, but they pulled off on it. He turns it up for positive yards. Nice tackle by Keith Jones.
You got to realize once they spread them out like that, the quarterback really doesn't have anybody to look for any help because all the defensive line for the Lions are going to do is just stand across and wait for them to run to them.
And the clock stopped at 11:32. The referees today, I've been very impressed by how thorough they've been. They want to make sure all their calls are right, and they're going to call a face mask on defense. Okay.
Yeah, he put his hands on it.
He put it on and then he let go, but he did have it on there for a second from what I saw. Nice shot of the Cardinal Ritter sideline there. There's Brandon Gregory right there standing there.
The Bulldog defense has to keep them off the quarterback. So I think they really need to make contact and keep their feet going as opposed to make one hit and their feet goes to sleep. Because that defense is going to penetrate and try to get in that backfield.
Gardner back to pass. He overthrows the intended wide receiver there. They're going for Dorian Stone, a little bit too tall for him.
That was perfectly played by Quentin Yates. Yates just followed the back to the sideline. So it seems that Ritter has made their substitutes and some guys are getting some game experience here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, the wide receiver in motion, Sumrock Gillespie, some reason he took a step to the left off sides before he went in motion to the right side. And that was right in front of the official, and he got him immediately there. So now they're going to push back the Bulldogs. Getting a little sloppier here now as the game goes on. A crisply played first half, and then a couple of penalties here in the second half. Quarterback keeps it. So they start out first and 1 after the big penalty. And the Cardinal Ritter Lions, they're roaring right now. They're roaring at the Bulldogs.
It's team tackling out there, and so the defense is having a great time, especially with the quarterback.
Well, later in the game, we're going to be choosing the Elite Academy Offensive Player of the Game. And the Carpenters of St. Louis and Kansas City Defensive Player of the Game. Carpenter City Council.
I just kind of wonder what's happening with the offensive line for the Bulldogs. I mean, you had halftime. What adjustments were made? What did the coach tell them? With just basic football, you stay low and you drive the man in front of you back.
4th down, a punting situation. Kick is off. It's a line drive. It's caught. Here comes Cardinal Ritter. You're running, I guess, east and west. Right there, Cameron Coleman. He caught that thing out of like a fastball. Out of the air. He just plucked it out of the air.
Yeah, he was trying to do some shake and bake over there on the sideline.
You can run all you want, east and west, but the name of the game is north and south. And another flag on the play. A lot of the times when these guys go running wide and stuff, you're all running like the same way, and it's so easy. Just someone turns up to touch them in the back, or
I may be from the old school, though, Todd, but if I was a defense,
it's a legal procedure.
For the Bulldogs, you would get in the huddle and start talking about who you were going to bring on the line, not sit there and stand up. The same thing would be on the offense. They would have to huddle and talk about what their assignments were.
Don, I think you'd make a good coach. You ever thought about doing a little coaching on the side?
Well, I have done some. I had opportunity at the University of Missouri. Then I did some over at the Webster Groves High School when I had some younger brothers playing.
Don, I think you ought to coach a – oh.
There you go.
I think you should coach a junior college in the in Missouri somewhere. I think you'd be a great JUCO coach.
Todd, if you knew the saga of the university, the state of Missouri, we don't let you play football in junior college here in the state of Missouri. Kansas does it, Arkansas does it, California does it, but no, not Missouri. You will not play football in the junior college.
Intercepted! Oh, how about that? So they step up there. They must have heard you, Don. And they step up. I know you've been preaching about this for years, about the junior college thing. Let's take a look at this replay here. Quick pass. Oh, it was tipped up in the air.
And he concentrated on the catch.
Jason Matthews on that. How about that? Let's go down to Angela.
I have Miranda, a senior at McCluer South at Berkeley, and Chelsea, a senior at Cardinal Ritter. What you guys missed was they had a little bit of a bring it on cheerleader off. Who do you think won that?
McCluer South.
You think McCluer South? Who do you think won that?
No doubt we won that.
Well, I have an opinion. I'll let you guys know later when they're not around me. Do you guys practice for that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do all the time.
All the time? And is that one of the favorite parts of this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, back to you, Todd.
Thank you very much, Angela. 26-6, Cardinal Ritter, as we come to about the 10-minute point of the fourth quarter. I'm looking at this track, and it reminds me of a story I did once on a young lady named Elisa Ursheri. She was a track star, and her sister were just phenomenal. And I actually raced her on a 40-yard dash.
What?
Yeah, and I was beating her like the first 20 yards, and I pulled a hamstring. That's my story.
Oh, no.
I'm sticking to it. But she was one of the top track and field participants in the St. Louis area. And her sister, I think they both went to Florida or Florida State.
Did you put some ice on that bruise, Todd?
It was embarrassing. You know, I had the early lead.
Did you walk with a strut, Todd, when you
Florida, her and her sister both scholars, and it was a really cool story. I remember back in high school, I went to Parkway West, and I thought, I was pretty fast. Then we had to run against Berkeley. It was like, it was no chance. Just a tremendous track and field program here for years. good football here, too.
He stepped out.
Yeah, big congratulations to the Class 3 District Fall Softball. Second place out here, McCluer South Berkeley. They got the plaque up here. So they're right here in Ferguson. They're rebounding from some things, and they're coming back, and they're really becoming strong and solid and forgiving. And Ellen DeGeneres, once again, $25,000 check to this football team, and it was just quite a show. And I just know the whole university, the whole school here is so proud. And Howard Brown is his moment. So Howard Brown is a University of Missouri alumni.
Now,
he's a little bit younger than you, though, Don.
Thanks. There's a lot of people that way, Todd.
Yeah, but he didn't score 2 touchdowns against Notre Dame. I have milked that thing for like the last 10 years.
Now, who else lives over here? Who else lives over here, Tom?
Well, Cedric the Entertainer came from this area. I went to Southeast Missouri, was said.
What about the guy that sung with the Doobie Brothers? I can't think of
Michael
his name.
McDonald.
Yeah, he's from over here, right?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He's around here somewhere. Cedric was down in SEMO, and one day he's like, I'm out of here. And he just like went to L.A. and just became successful. There's Morrow right there. I tell you, the Bulldogs.
That's the way you play the defense. You penetrate across, you hook him, and somebody get a little piece of meat.
Yeah, Cedric, he used to walk up and down the halls at University Hall and just cracking jokes. And he's a mass communications guy down at SEMO. And all of a sudden, he just like, you know what? I'm out of here. And he just like went to L.A. He
didn't love Southeast Missouri.
No, he just went to L.A. And then all of a sudden, a couple years later, he's this big star. Here's Hagens. Oh, athletic ability. Look at this. Lots of room for the quarterback. Breaks a tackle, spins up almost to midfield. Wow, what an athletic play by the star quarterback from Cardinal Ritter.
What is that telling you about the defense for the Bulldogs? He should not be allowed to run like that. You make the quarterback think he sees the hole, then you close it around him.
Well, you get these defensive backs covering the wide receivers downfield, so he's got nowhere to throw to. So he just picks a space, uses his great vision, and then that great athletic ability kicks in, and there you go. First down, Hagens over the middle. He's got his man. Another first down there. This time, Kalen Smith.
This is not what the Bulldog defense need. They're starting to walk back to the line of scrimmage. That's showing you that, hey, they've been out on that field an extended amount of time.
They've got to be gassed. But, the funny thing, the offense is always out there, too, and they don't seem to be gassed because they're, like, pushing forward.
Yeah, but when you're winning, you get to make more substitutes. Come on, Todd. You can tell your first string, hey, take a breather, boy. Take a breather. Because when you're there, you want to make sure that you get your uniform dirty, especially if your parents are at the game.
6:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Cardinal Ritter with a 20-point lead and the ball. Second down. Hagens talks it over with Jackson. There's a timeout on the field, and we'll step away.
So with 6 minutes and 39 seconds left in the game, Cardinal Ritter 26 and South Berkeley 6.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time.
Hi, I'm Dr. Connie Hayes with Fit for Life Sports and Rehabilitation.
At Fit for Life Sports and Rehab, we specialize in sports injuries, shoulders, knees, ankle injuries, neck and back pain, also headaches, personal injury. Fit for Life Sports and Rehab, giving you a competitive edge.
For more than a century, the St. Louis Kansas City Carpenters Regional Council has shaped St. Louis. Through trusted alliances, we deliver skilled professional craftspeople, while our business partners provide the kind of quality jobs that keep our economy humming. It's a blueprint that has worked since 1882. A career in union carpentry means great pay, exceptional benefits, and professional skills training unmatched in the industry. We are 22,000 members strong, and we work for St. Louis. Visit carpdc.org.
Back to the action with 6:36 to go in the fourth quarter. 26-6. This is the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Coming up soon, we're going to be announcing our players of the game, the Elite Football Academy Offensive Player of the Game, and the St. Louis Kansas City Carpenters Regional Council Defensive Player of the Game. And Jackson slips on this one.
That was an outstanding blitz as a man went through the offensive line and just got his hands around the thighs of the quarterback to throw him off.
This is going to be a tough one on the offense. You got the running back at Cardinal Ritter, Shimei Morrow, with a couple of touchdowns. And you've got their quarterback with a couple of passing touchdowns and a lot of good runs.
Great pass.
So we're going to debate this. On the defensive side, I'd tell you they've been stalwart. I mean, you got Joe Moore, number 58. You got number 52, Anthony Baker. And we said Keith Jones' name a lot here today. We'll be narrowing this down very soon.
Mr.
Jeremiah
Williams,
Hayes.
Mr. Williams may be one of them. He just caught that pass, an out pattern.
And there's another one. Spinning into the end zone, touchdown.
Who did I say?
Jamison Williams, his second touchdown, and Hagen's third touchdown.
JW is the man. He caught it and did some high stepping in the end zone.
I mean, can we do a trio? Morrow's got 2 TDs. Williams now has 2 TDs. And the quarterback's got 3 touchdowns.
Here's the replay, Todd. Let's look at this. He goes down, cuts it inside, turns on the afterburners, avoid the defensive man, and he's in. I told you, they're trying to tackle him with the arms. That will not work.
Now going for the 2-point. Higgins rolls to the left.
Dives in.
Gets in for the 2-point conversion.
When it rains, it pours, Todd.
It sure does.
But, you know, the positive side of this for the Bulldogs, this is a character builder. If you really want to take this away, you're going to maybe look at some film. You look at each other and go, hey, I don't like the way this feels, so therefore we can't let this happen again. What do we have to do in order to turn things around? Because if this is your homecoming, this is a homecoming you won't soon forget on your own home field.
Down to Angela.
It's time for that U.S. Army play of the game. We're going to go with that touchdown that happened in the third quarter, the 46 yards brought in by Luther Burden. That is your U.S. Army play of the game.
All right, how about that? Oh, my. That was the biggest hit of the game right there.
Yeah, but number 4 is
number
still
24,
standing.
Jaden Williams.
BJ, Bill Jackson is the man. He took the hit and just threw the ball like that, like, hey, what's next?
Wow.
That's the type of football I enjoy seeing.
Personal foul. Head to head, so they're going to call that a penalty right there. And that, I mean, you could hear that up here. Woo.
When you're moving fast, you don't have time to move around, though, Ty. I respect the safety of the call, but when everybody's on full contact, He snaps it. Catches. He turns up. Now he's looking up. Look. See, he came straight across. He tried to put the shoulder in there. He tried to put some shoulder in there. It wasn't only head. But when you're defensive man, you put your helmet down inside your shoulder pads and make the hit.
Left side. Clock rolls down to about 5:50 here in the fourth quarter.
Really, what has the Lions proved to the Bulldogs? You cannot pass against us. We will let you milk the clock with the runs, but you will not pass the ball against us.
Gardner keeps this one. And they got the lineman number 62 right there. Jeremiah Hayes has played a phenomenal game here today.
Too many old linemen are standing around watching him tackle the quarterback. Uh-oh, somebody's a little anxious here at the end. Kalen Smith? No, it's not him. That was Larry Miles.
There's Gardner. He's
going for the deep ball.
Oh, he throws it down there. Lots of arm on that.
But nobody to receive it.
Incomplete.
It's nice to see he has that type of arm. It's just that all game, the Lions have been keeping the Bulldogs off balance with their run, with occasional pass play.
4th down and 11 for the Bulldogs. 5:08 to go in the fourth. Gardner guns this one over the middle. He's got his man just short of the first down as he hit Nathan Smith.
That was a great look-in catch he made because the man was on him. But he looked at it in his hands. That's what coaches just can't say enough about, looking it in.
Well, we've narrowed it down to 3 players on the offense. We may have to go with 2, maybe co-players on the offensive side of the Elite Football.
How about honorable mention?
Academy, but, you know, Morrow with a couple of touchdowns, Jamison Williams with a couple of touchdowns, and the quarterback, what a game he's played here tonight. I mean, Mecky Hagens has thrown for 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Jamison Williams, and Jamison Williams just signed with Ohio State. And Missouri is looking at the quarterback, Mecky Hagens, so we're going to go those 2 as co-players of the game. Offensive Elite Football Academy. On the defensive side, this is really hard. So on the offense, it's going to be quarterback, number 9, Mecky Hagens. 3 touchdowns, and he participated in 2 two-point conversions as well. He ran all over the field, tons of yardage. And we're going to sneak in Jamison Williams, talk to this young man too, congratulate him for signing with Ohio State.
Yeah, this would be some film he would want to send up to those people that are interested in recruiting him.
Hopefully the Mizzou can seal the borders, Don. Maybe with your help, they can get Mecky Hagens. It's a nice little pass across the middle.
That was a great comeback. He looked it in his hands and turned it upfield.
Cameron Coleman, let's take a peek.
Going to bring up 3rd and 3.
And Cardinal Ritter, number 9, Mecky Hagens, the quarterback. And number 3, Jamison Williams. I mean, it's kind of hard to rule a guy out that scored 2 TDs, but here comes Jackson down the sideline.
Cruising down the sideline.
He wants his name in the mix now, but it's a little bit too little, too late. It's a 35-yard touchdown, Bill Jackson. And now the score looks like some of the more recent scores. Cardinal Ritter, they've been putting up 40 points a game plus. I tell you what, for 3.5 quarters, this McCluer South Berkeley Bulldog team, you know, held in there, but right now I'm not sure if it's just they just have the stamina going their way or what. They've certainly got more players over there on the sideline. They did have a big injury here with the Bulldogs, with Cameron Cole. He was not near as effective after he hurt his ankle.
But you're looking at the Lions, the guys that came in as substitutes, they're showing the coach that they can play.
So with 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game, Cardinal Ritter, 40. McCluer South Berkeley, 6.
Well, we have to go with one player, Don, on each side. If you want to go two, you can go the quarterback, Mecky Hagens. 3 touchdowns on the day, 2 of them to Jamison Williams. It's number 9. Defensive side, I'm still torn here. I mean, I think Keith Jones played a heck of a game, number 1. I think Jaden Williams, number 24, was just smoking people all game long. I mean, you look in there and you see Joe Moore, you know.
What about Anthony Baker? I mean, you know, he was there.
Don, you picked the defensive player of the game. It's going to be the St. Louis, Kansas City Carpenters Regional Council defensive player of the game. Don, you're going to make this pick. And it should just be the whole defense, but you can't do the whole defense.
I'm going with Anthony Baker, number 52.
All right. Anthony Baker, number 52, had a solid defensive performance, and I'm sure he's going to credit his teammates for a great team defense.
Well, that's the sign of a great player. It is always a team effort. You don't try to hog all the attention, but you realize, hey, we play as a team, because why? I may not make one play, but my man next to me, he's covering for me, and we play as a team.
Yeah, he has been stalwart, jamming up the defensive line there all game long. So there you have it. Let's see how many times. Oh, here. Wow. Nice run down the sideline over there.
You can see that, but you're kind of wondering, is this the first team for the Lions, or are these the substitutes for the Lions? Or he's finally letting them get in there and get their jerseys dirty. You know, because when you play football, you don't want to get back on the bus with a clean jersey. That's kind of embarrassing.
That's why I used to just jump on the pile.
Exactly.
You know, just roll around a little bit. Look at this. Gardner overthrows the intended receiver. That was Gillespie again. And I'm not sure if he hurt himself or he's just dejected. A little bit of frustration right there for the young man. Yeah. And he is limping around a little bit there. You know he doesn't want to come out of the game.
Well, let's look at his situation, Todd. He's been and grounded most of the game.
He certainly has. Little screen pass. Oh, nice one-handed catch. But yeah, you're the beef up the middle wasn't fooled on that.
It's too many.
And there's your guy Anthony Baker right in there on that one.
Too many linemen standing around.
So no good. We're under 3 minutes now. 2:50 and counting here in the fourth quarter.
I'd like to see the Bulldogs make one more pass down the field to the end zone.
Well, there's a nice pitch and catch right there.
Stepped out to stop the clock.
Yeah, that was McMiller on the catch.
Pass complete to Tony McMiller. Close to the first down. Looks like it's going to be a little short. 4 inches.
And we'd like to thank the staff here at McCluer South Berkeley. They've been very accommodating to us up here for the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week, presented by McDonald's. We got a nice, clear view on a beautiful day for football.
DeMarco Fitz stopped at that time.
Cardinal Ritter will take over, 1st and 10 from the McCluer South Berkeley 47-yard.
Now, I'm not sure if this is Gardner or not, but they're on about the 40-yard line behind the bench here. In front of the bench, actually, right on the sideline, and they're stretching out one of the players, and he's just got up, and it is the quarterback, I believe. Yep, guard. He's limping right now, so they've had some injuries. They're getting banged up here.
If you had all the weight falling on your ankles, how would you feel, Todd?
Probably like that.
Yeah, because they've been gang tackling him.
Boom. There's Burden back in the game. So breaks a tackle inside the 30, 20, 10-5, touchdown. His second touchdown of the game. The quarterback's fourth passing touchdown of the game.
Summer breeze, it makes me feel fine.
Even in the fall.
That's what he was singing going down the sideline.
Necky Hagen's fourth touchdown of the game.
Oh, he made that look so easy.
Going for another 2-point PAT. And they run it, and they're stopped just short. So the score now with 1 minute and 46 seconds and counting, it's 46-40.
What does that tell you when the second team and below score?
46-6. Let's take a look at the replay right here. Look at this. I mean, what an
Makes
effort.
the catch and just strolls down the sideline unattached.
That was Jackson's TD from earlier.
He made it look too easy, Todd.
So we're going to take a look at Burden's TD here as well. Here's Burden. He broke that tackle right there and just turns on the afterburners.
With an escort. Todd, you know, in situations like this, you just want to get it over as soon as possible. This is just one game. It's not your whole season.
It looks like 5 touchdowns I'm looking at now. 5 touchdowns from Necky Hagens. So now Hagen's up to 5 touchdowns. The Elite Football Academy player of the game, offensive side. 5 touchdowns. I don't have his yardage, but it's got to be astronomical. Plus, he ran around the field like crazy. And I'll be excited to see Angela with the young man here in just a few moments.
But if you look at Cardinal Ritter's record and the teams that they've played, they do have the ability to run up the score.
You know, 46-40, but it was a lot closer than that. I mean, this is a very hard-fought battle. You know, I tell you what, Cardinal Ritter is going to go home with some bumps and bruises. There was a lot of hard hitting in this game, and it was a great week for McCluer South Berkeley getting the big $25,000 donation grant, whatever you want to call it, from Ellen DeGeneres. Really excited this community out here. But, you know, let me tell you something. Cardinal Ritter just improved to 8-0 on the season. And they're an unbelievable team. Next week, they're going to be playing at Althoff. And next week, McCluer South Berkeley Bulldogs will be playing at 1 p.m. versus Confluence at St. Mary's High. So we want to congratulate them on winning their conference title. They've dropped to 5-3 now. And Cardinal Ritter goes to 8-0, and they're a really, really fun team to watch. I believe they're in the top 5 in small schools. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to take a break on the Bommarito Prep Zone Automotive Group High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's. We'll be back with the players of the game after this.
And brought to you by Fit for Life, Sports and Rehabilitation, A&G Auto Spa, Elite Football Academy, McDonald's, Farmers Insurance, Affinia Healthcare, the U.S. Army, Jet Transportation, Papa John's Pizza, Dead On Sports, St. Louis, Kansas City Carpenters Regional Council.
And welcome back to the Bommarito Prep Zone Automotive High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's. Along with Don Johnson and Angela Sharp, I'm Todd Blackstock, and right now we're going down to Angela for our 2 star players of the game.
That's right. I've got your St. Louis, Kansas City Carpenters Regional Council Defensive Player of the Game, Anthony Baker, and your Elite Football Academy's Offensive Player of the Game, Mekhi Higgins, down here. All right, first let's start with you, Mekhi. You threw for 5 touchdown passes. You're kind of all over the place. Pretty good game for you, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you guys were held by the Bulldogs to 12 at that half. What kind of woke you up the second half?
Our coach, Brandon Gravy, gave us a speech in the locker room. Then that's when it clicked.
Yeah, that coach, always by the power of the coach. Now, how about you? You held the Bulldogs to just 6 points.
We was hard work and dedication. We came out here, did what we had to do, and got off the field with a W.
And now, is that what we can usually expect from you guys?
Yes, you can expect us to stay too. So me and Kyle gonna work for that.
And I hear good things for you in your future, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you got planned?
I'm trying to go to college.
Trying to go to college. So these are your offensive and defensive players of the game. Back to you guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, Angela. I really appreciate it. Sounds like Mekhi Higgins got a big look this week by the University of Missouri. Maybe they can seal the borders. For all of us here on the Bommarito Prep Zone Game of the Week, Director Andre Holman, our cameraman Joe Brown, all of our crew, we'd like to thank them for an outstanding job. For Angela Sharp and Don Johnson, I'm Todd Blackstock, thanking you for watching the Bommarito Prep Zone High School Football Game of the Week presented by McDonald's. We'll see you next week.
Trinity, you see me. You hear me talking to you. You're making eye contact.